What's going on, guys? Welcome in, welcome in. Laura, congrats on getting UDS today. I'll be enjoying that. Zeri, congrats on getting first. Game Addict, it's good to see you, brother. Welcome, welcome. Grace, hello. Julian, welcome, bienvenido. And Hime, good to see you. C, what's going on? And Z, hello, hello. GXL, what's up? How you doing? Son, thanks for lurking. I appreciate you. Favorite streamer? Nah, I'm not anyone's favorite streamer. Stop that. Hey, Carly, how you doing? I hope you're doing well today. Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo, Teite-chan. Doshita? Yo, Miss Ags, what's going on? You're gonna go to sleep? Well, that's perfect. Today we're doing some ASMR reading. I could read you to sleep if you want. Speaking of which, let me make sure my alerts and shit are off. Because once we get started with that, I don't want anybody to be spooked awake. Yeah, blurb turning off too. No sound alerts today. Okay. That should work. That should work. Perfect timing indeed. Oh wait, I gotta make sure. Okay. Come on, come on. I want to make sure it's not gonna play. Oh yeah. Okay. Shut down source when not visible. There we go. And yeah, I just want to make sure that nobody's gonna get spooked, you know? I gotta remember to fix this when I... Hey Snom, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. How you doing? Hey Shay. Welcome, welcome. Oh Snom, thank you for the head rub. Good luck to you. Let's see. Properties. Yes, I got that. Got that. Okay, we're all good. We're all good. No sound alerts are gonna spook us today. Beautiful. Hey, Vampire Catboy, what's going on? Good morning, good morning. Or good evening. Or good afternoon. Hey, Viva, what's going on? But focus on my... Viva, it's good to see you. Sorry, I missed chat a little bit. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone else. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. You might join later because you're working. It's all good. Is Poofy here? I haven't seen Poofy yet. Why would I ignore you, Grace? Also, if you say it twice, it makes me not ignore you. It's afternoon for you, but you wish it wasn't. What do you wish it was, Z? Yeah, it's already too late. I already said hi to you, Grace. Soon, soon. Your Wi-Fi acting up? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you don't have to apologize for that. That's not your fault. What, Laura? What? You wish it was morning because you skipped the entire morning by accident? Oh, that happens. You need to take a nap before stream later? Your daily dose. You only get 5 doses per week, though. I'm probably going to keep the Monday streams in the schedule because I've been having too much fun streaming. If I don't stream on Mondays, then more than 48 hours pass between my Saturday streams like this one and my Tuesday streams, and I can't have that. Laura, qué buen chica. I'm so proud of you. You slept in on accident? Meant to get up at like 6:30 to 7 a.m. Woke up at noon. Oh no. Aw, Miss Aggs, you're such a good girl. And if you fall asleep, that's a compliment. I'm so proud of you. I hope I can give you some sweet dreams. You're saving for VIP now? I see you, Viva. Yeah, I feel that, Z. You're probably feeling groggy, yeah? Yo, this Jensen chat. See, you're adorable. How do you take your dose of Mito? As prescribed, orally. Give Viva some love? I could do that. Viva, baby doll. You ready for your daily dose of Mito? Well, you deserve it because you've been such a good girl. What do you mean, Laura? I'm pretty sure other people have redeemed it for you, no? Actually, I think most of the redeems go to, like, Kai and Starry. Yep, there it is. Hey, Kai. Kai, you're such a good girl. And I'm so proud of you. You're doing a great job. Yeah, you enjoying the show, Catboy? Morning. Aw. Viva, you're amazing. I hope you don't stay down. Maybe we can help lift you up, yeah? Mwah. You're trying to keep up? Yeah, do what you gotta do, you know? Take it hour by hour, day by day. Sometimes it's not easy, you know? But, oh shit, I still have ducking on, don't I? Get that shit out of here. There we go. That's much better. You know what? Let's, That's right. Yes. Gotta get the good shit going, yeah? Yeah, let's get nice and relaxed. Yes. Sit back in your chairs, get comfy, grab a blanket, grab a stuffed animal, and grab a body pillow. Whatever you need. Hey Gina, welcome in. Yeah, let's get nice and sleepy and relaxed. Oh, it's not done yet. That's okay. Time for a nappy? I misread that as time for a nipple. I was like, damn, you offering? Kidding. Oh, Tay, you're such a good girl. And you're in charge of stuff because you are a bad bitch and you take charge when you need to. You're good at what you do. And I'm proud of you. Ask nicely. Mito body pillow when? I need to... Do you guys actually want a Mito body pillow? My voice. You like it? How serious are we about a Mito body pillow? How many people? If there are 10 people... Oh my god, wait. Okay, here. If there are 10 people who click yes on this poll, then if anyone has like resources for where to find someone who can make a body pillow, like where I can give them art and they will just make the body pillow cover, then I'll do it. Yeah. You may not get one, but you know there's one. Why are we already at 9? The poll hasn't been live for 30 seconds. 10? Okay, Jesus. Are you serious? You guys want it that badly? Okay. Okay. Wow. Gina. Interesting, Tay. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay, I'll look into it. Would you want the body pillow with this art though? Or should I get custom art for the body pillow? Maybe an altered version of this art. Commission body pillow art. Yeah, APHA's comms are still closed, and I think they will be for a while, unfortunately. Maybe shirtless. That's right. I could do like 2 versions, yeah? Maybe one version a little more lewd than the other. A Mito booty mousepad? No. I don't think that'll happen. Viva, that's so cute. What the hell? My favorite cologne is Cool Water, but I fucking lost my bottle when I moved here. I'm so upset. There was still like so much left. It's such a shame. In whatever timeline you make it, it'd sell out in seconds. Yeah, Cool Water. Hashtag not sponsored. Yeah, it's just called Cool Water. Yo, Poofy, welcome in. It's good to see you. If you want to know how to win a man's heart, I know all the ways. Still, I'll never understand why I'm single. And what is the way to a man's heart? Hey, Shy, welcome in. That was your dad's favorite cologne? Oh, no. I'm so sorry, Tay. Now if you smell it, you're going to think of me and your dad. That's probably going to be confusing. Yo, Linda, what's up? Welcome. How are you, darling? Dixie, I fucking love you. How are you doing? Thank you for the 13 months, brother. Oh no, cringe? What's cringe, bro? Poofy, thank you for lurking. And I appreciate you wanting to stop by. You haven't spelled it in ages. I got you. VTubing is cringe? Well, I'm a PNG tuber, so is that more or less cringe? And you were a VTuber way before me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, hey, hey. Whoa. What the fuck? What the fuck? Guys. Hello? Today's supposed to be a nice, chill, relaxing stream. What the fuck are you doing? Jesus Christ. See. Laura, thank you for the 100 biddies. See. Thank you for the 10 gifted. Why? What the fuck? This isn't going to help you in your mod application, you know. It's not going to give you any extra points. Full-time sim. Oh my god. Yo, Moo, what's going on, brother? Bro. I mean, it's definitely not going to hurt, see. Don't you worry. Tay! Thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate it. What the fuck? Wait, this hype train looks different. Guy, because I know you don't want it. Why would you give me bits unconsensually? God, my nose is like so stuffy. Thank you for the 100 bits, Kai. I appreciate it. About to beat your last record. Keep up the support. Lore. Thank you for the 500 bits. God damn. You don't have to be doing this, guys. Why is this happening? Tay, I'm trying to stay relaxed right now. I'm trying to keep the vibes nice and chill, nice and calm. But like, what the fuck is happening? Tay, thank you for 5 gifted. I appreciate it. What the hell is happening? Yo, Woofy caught one of those. Nice, nice. God damn. You guys are ridiculous. Maybe you read erotic novel chapter 1 for first half of stream. Does anything sexual happen in chapter 1? Because I'm not going to read sexual content on stream. No, it doesn't? Okay. Maybe I will. Am I crazy? Where are my tissues? I gotta blow my fucking nose. There is a red line. Okay, beautiful. You were calm before, but now you're chaotic. No, that's exactly what I didn't want. I muted because I don't think you guys want nose blowing ASMR. See? What the fuck? Thank you for lurking, Viva. See? 2,000 bits? That's too much. You guys are doing too much. Record broke. Why? This is just a very normal stream. Guys, give us biddy. You know what? I should commission more emotes. I should fill out my follower slots. I think I have all the tier 1 slots filled out. I have one more animated emote slot. Maybe I should commission an animated emote? Listen, if you guys have emote ideas, put them in the Discord in the suggestions channel, yeah? I'll look into commissioning more. But I don't think my original emote artist is going to be available. I know she's very busy. Thea is amazing, and I would love to commission her again. But yeah, I don't think she'll be available. You guys are crazy. Level 6. Why? We are already crazy for me. Oh my god. Y'all are wild. I don't know what to say. I don't have live in my Twitter bio. There we go. Now we're good. Just wait till next week when no, Tay, you need to make sure you're taken care of first. I need you guys to promise me that anytime that you support the channel, you are 100% okay first. I don't know what's going on, Ryan. If you can figure it out, please let me know. This is just a normal stream, bro. I'm just trying to do relaxing reading ASMR. And they just want to pelt me with coins and shit. You got yelled at by 2 gremlins to come in here? Guys, please don't ask other people to give bits. It's not a good look. If someone wants to support, they'll do it of their own will. I don't want anyone to coerce other people into giving money. Okay? Please. Hands grab emote? Put it in suggestions. Hands grab emotes are risky. You know? I feel like half the time they just get taken off of Twitch. Ryan is gaslighting? Are you sure? I mean, I didn't see anything in the Discord, but perhaps someone hit him up in DMs. I'm just saying. I'm a good guy. Thank you for thinking so. You're doubting I'm not sure. I'm not doubting anyone. I'm just saying. That's not the kind of environment that I want. I don't want people coercing others to give money. Because then, you know, if they're not able to, then they might end up feeling guilty. I never want that. I never want anyone to feel guilty for not being able to support me. And really, the only support that I want is to hang out with you guys and for you guys to join the Discord. Those are the only things that really matter to me. Joining the Discord is the best way to support me because it adds to my community, and the community is the most important thing to me. Twitch is mad at me for trying to submit a pants grab. Yeah. It's kind of spooky. Ryan. Thank you for 500 bits. What the fuck? You did not have to do that, bro. Jesus. No. Moon. No. I see the slash ads. Not everyone goes on Reddit. They don't know what slash ads means. Yo, Addy, what's up? It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. You did try to submit it a second time after they denied it once. Yeah, I got I have instant uploads for emotes. It's /J for joking on Twitter. It's /S for sarcasm. /S is more common on Reddit. 16 subs and 3,300 bits. You guys are crazy. Thank you so much for the support. It means a lot. It really does. Especially because, you know, I'm working towards getting a live 2D model. It's going to help. By the way, I want to announce something. And I probably should have told you this before you showered your money at me. Showered me in your money? You've never heard of /J? /J is more on Twitter. Ryan, thank you for the 6-month resub. Goddamn. I very much appreciate it, bro. You crawled out of the woods bloody and broken, and you're there for me. Yo, Ian, welcome. What's going on? You're not on Twitter at all? So you don't know what's been going on with my Twitter? You're telling me you should put /J at the end? No, you don't have to. Only put /J at the end if you feel like if someone doesn't get that it's a joke, they'll get offended. You had a dream the other day that I have a live 2D model and I was playing some weird Fortnite ripoff with Mrs. Mummy. I have actually talked with Mrs. Mummy about collabing at some point, but we haven't made it happen yet. But if we did collab, I doubt we would play a Fortnite ripoff. That's funny. You two in the same room together. Yeah, that would be a lot of loot. I feel like that should be obvious though, Dixie. If anyone like... Kai, the hype train is gone. You don't need to give anything. Thank you for the 500 bits. I appreciate it. My goodness. That's funny, Z. It's adorable that you're dreaming of me, though. I appreciate it, Kai. I appreciate it. Yo, Skizzle, what's going on, brother? How you doing? It's good to see you, man. Boom. Get shouted out, bitch. Just got back from the gym? Hell yeah, we love to hear that. See. See. Ha, Civi caught one of those. See. Thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate it. Are you gonna be in trouble? Yeah. I'm gonna tie you up in my basement. I'm not gonna let you out until you beg for mercy. Lore. Thank you for the gift sub. I appreciate it. Oh my god. If you guys caught one of these gift subs, then enjoy your emotes, okay? See, for obvious reasons, bad. See, you are such a good girl. I appreciate you so much for supporting me when you don't have to. But I'm proud of you. Callie, welcome in. Hello. So tired. Take care of them for me. I'll do my best. My name is Mido. I'm a villain VTuber. And welcome. But you best be careful. I've got you in my clutches now. And I don't let go easy. Hi Billy Bobs, welcome to the channel. Today we're doing some ASMR reading, but we haven't started yet because my chat is being fucking goofy. How was your stream? What were you playing? You were playing just chatting. Cool. I do love you guys very much. Hydrate? Hey Harley, welcome. I forgot to fill my water before stream, so I'm gonna have to refill that before I start reading. Callie, if you're tired, don't feel like you need to stick around, or I am gonna do ASMR reading, so I could read you to sleep if you want. You're just listening? I appreciate you, son. I did say hi to you, right? Bad Mido always... I know. I just like... I was trying to find a specific song. You guys know... Are any of you into classical music? I've got this classical piece stuck in my head. I can't figure out which one it is. I don't remember what it's called. But it like starts very soon, like very quickly into the piece. It has this violin riff that just like goes off. It's like... You know what I'm talking about? Oh, thank you for the redeems, guys. I'm sorry for the horrible rendition of violin, but like, yeah, it's got that like... You know what I'm talking about? You have a metal song like Alright. Poofy, you're such a good girl. And I'm so proud of you. With all due respect, stop. That's so fucking funny. Stop. No, don't clip it. Oh my god. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, if you guys ever think of the title, let me know because I want to play it at the start of a stream sometimes. You just got a text offering you a magic gummy for your dick. Wait, is the gummy magic for your dick? Like it's gonna make your dick magic, or did you get the magic gummy because of your dick? Like you showed them your dick, they're like, damn, that's impressive. Have a gummy. Now you can go riding. Yeah, enjoy riding, Poofy. I think it's a magic gummy that enhances his dick. You will not go to bed until later. You're wild. Okay. If you sleep now, then you'll wake up really early. That's true. It's not that late for you yet, is it? Wait, Dixie. It literally just says magic gummy for your dick. Here's the link. That's amazing. I kind of want to show it on stream, but I also don't want to show the link. You know? That's so funny. It literally just says magic gummy for your dick, all caps. You're bullying yourself to take a nap? Okay, good girl. You would dick ride for gummies? I bet you would. Oh my god. Yeah, go sleep, go sleep. In Mito streams, ironically the tamest and most say-so person. Ironically. Because in other streams, that's not true. Until Win shows up, fair enough. Thanks for lurking, Lore. I appreciate you. You will eat dick for snack. Ha. You guys are fucking wild. I don't know what to make of this. You're wild, yeah. You really are. But dick is snack. That's what I'm saying. This chat, honestly, they're fucking adorable. Bet. You're a bit hungry? Bet on what? Let him say so here. Describe it one more time. Wait, describe what, Harley? You could just get money and buy even more gummies for riding or eating dick. You made a reply to my tweet? I'll check those tweets after, don't you worry. I typically try to stay off other platforms while I'm live, but I will say every once in a while, I do check Twitter. Every once in a while. I try not to do it too much though. I want to give you guys as much of my attention as possible. Hydrate? I have to go get water. I have to leave. Yes, Kai Kai. What's up? Okay, I'm gonna go grab water. I'll be back in just a moment. Why would you make a horny cult without me, C? Hello? Why would I not be the leader of the horny cult? Who just caught you off guard, Kai? Me? Are you on mobile? Oh, you're not on mobile. Me? You're trying, but you're clingy and want bedtime stories. Okay, that's fair. I should probably start reading soon. How has it been 40 minutes already? It feels like I just pushed the live button. What the fuck? Good, be productive, Hime. Get some good work done, yeah? You didn't expect Kai Kai? Well, you said Mito Mito. You want to lay on my lap? Tay called you horny fanfic writer? Well, that's not incorrect, is it? You guys are so cute. God, why do humans need food? Why is that a thing? Huh? I've never called you that before. Isn't there a thing in like a certain culture, I can't remember which, where it's very common to say like similar syllables twice, especially in someone's name? I think Nico told me about that. Skavens do it? What are Skavens? Okay, fair enough, Ian, fair enough. Filipinos? Oh, okay, okay. Viva. Thank you for lurking, darling. Oh, Filipinos like repeat syllables. Like kai kai, my. Hi, Mikikita. Welcome in. Whoa, you're gonna do an art piece for the fanfic? You're from the Philippines? Ah, very cool, very cool. Is it true then? That's how you can differentiate me. What, you want me to call you Kai Kai? Maybe I could do that. Back to English, yeah. I feel like we have a few people from the Philippines, or at least a few people who speak Tagalog. Thanks for lurking, Ian. Enjoy League, if you can. My reading fanfic when? I think I should probably read it before I read it on stream. Like, just so I know what I'm getting into, you know? You love me even more? I'm not Filipino, just to be fair. But I've noticed there are some people in chat who just go into Tagalog mode. So, yeah. And I think I don't mind that because one of my moderators speaks Tagalog, so they can make sure that nobody's saying anything bad. I know. Yeah, fair. But want me to send it to you? Wait, I missed something. You know the classical music? Oh, Paganini, Caprice number 24. Wait, let's check this out. Wait, was it even violin or was it piano? Let's see. Violin is best. Oh, there are two versions, yeah. I'm not sure this is what I was thinking of. I'm gonna skip around a little bit. Yeah, this is not what I was thinking of. What the fuck? How is he doing that? That's crazy. There. That's wild. But yeah, that's not the piece that I had in mind. You've played this? That's wild too. Holy shit. The brain plucky stopped, sorry. Concerto Grosso? The more I think about it, the melody might be on piano. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's piano now that I think about it. I don't know why I thought it was violin. But yeah, it's like you know? Sort of like that. I quit. I'm sorry. Advent and Christmas music? It's definitely not it. I'm sorry, Harley. Yeah. No wonder it wasn't popping up in the classical music for villains playlist that I have, because it's a piano solo, probably. I bet Rousseau has played it. You guys know Rousseau on YouTube? Fucking badass YouTube channel. Those are different sounds. I know. All I'm hearing is the melody. Wait, there's no way it's just this, right? No, that's not it. It's not like company. No, that's not it. Is it Hungarian Rhapsody? No, it's not Hungarian Rhapsody. Although I love Hungarian Rhapsody. Is it Chopin? Kai Kai or Kai-chan? Okay. Is it this? Hey, Foxy. Thank you for the 25 biddies. I appreciate it. Oh, I just realized I never stretched for you guys. Oh my god. I'll stretch extra long. You should probably head to bed soon. Yeah, it's late for you, isn't it? Sorry. I'm curious if this is it. You jump in? Yeah. I mean, there were 2 stretch redeems 17 minutes ago. I feel bad. Also, hi Marcus Lester, if you're still here. I realized I didn't say hi to you. And there was a hydrate. Sorry, I'm catching up. I was a bit thrown off by the hype train. You want the place? The place? What do you mean, see? Cafe 1930? I don't. See. See. Why are you doing this to me? Thank you for 1500 bits. You do not have to do that. That's so much. There's no way you're shooting for first place. It's too much. You're on the board. There you go. Yeah, you got 3rd place. That's good enough. You can end there. I appreciate you so much, C. I do. Okay, this is not the piece that I was thinking of. I wonder if it's in his top 10 most difficult piano pieces video. Yeah, go eat some breakfast. That sounds like a good idea. Hi, wait. Hi, Zeri. No, hi, Emmy. Siri, I'm not talking to you. Shut the fuck up. Okay, it's not this. Civi. God damn it. Doing that shit again? Civi, how you doing today? This is not it either. No, that's not it, obviously. That's Beethoven. What's up, Laura? Civi, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel. It's good to see you. This is not it either. What is this? Chopin. Welcome back, Ryan. I'm trying to find a classical music piece that has been stuck in my head. I want to play it for some stream intros, but I can't remember what it is. Oh. How can people play things like this? I don't understand how this is humanly possible. Hey Jen, welcome. You want me to stretch for you? I can do that. Thank you. Yeah, this is definitely not it, but it's very impressive. want to sleep, but I'm live. We'll get to reading pretty soon here. I can read you to sleep, yeah? Oh, I love this piece. This was in Your Lie in April. You used to play violin? Really? You know help when it comes to remembering pieces? Yeah, that's fair. This is not Winter Wind. This is... What is it called? What is it called? Oh, it is Winter Wind. What am I saying? This is La Campanella. Hey, Wolfie, what's going on? La Campanella is a fucking insane piece, but it's so good. Hungarian Rhapsody, also a very good piece. Use your one brain self. Oh, this is a different Hungarian Rhapsody than I was thinking of. Is this Hungarian Rhapsody 6? I see. That's crazy. Okay. So it's not in that compilation. The best of piano. This dude played Giorno's theme on fucking piano. I'm doing good, Wolfie. How about yourself? Oh, thanks for lurking, Laura. You did take music as an exam. It's by one of the big names. Wait, do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, I don't remember if it was one of the big names. Probably. Rachmaninoff? Could that be it? No, not Tchaikovsky. I don't know. I don't think this is right. Corellin Overture? OP 62? I don't think the piece I'm thinking of was by Beethoven. I think it was a piano solo. Yeah, I don't think this is it. Yeah. Yeah, not this. Not that. Why did I get a text from Instagram? Hello? That's weird. I wonder if it was by Chopin. You're so sleepy? Thanks for lurking, C. It's definitely not that. Piano for sure? Almost definitely. It was not a game instrumental. I know it's classical music. That's not it either. Was it Liszt? Sorry, if you need to sleep, get some sleep. There might not even be a post-stream VC. At least not from me. This is not it. All right, I feel like a lot of people are sleepy. I'm gonna stop looking for this right now. Okay. The wine will let you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like the opposite way. Wine makes me really sleepy. Okay, let's get nice and relaxed, yeah? Let me take a sip. You gonna get mad at Grace for drinking wine? Is this the Coraline that I was reading? Is it gonna remember my place? Yes. Beautiful. Okay. Sorry, what? I have a book. I have the book. Don't you worry. Just in time for you to finish work, and you have to go get ready to babysit the niece. Aw. I hope work went well for you, Tay. Okay. So, chat. I'm gonna switch my category to ASMR. And good. I had to help make the end of it better. World's better. That's so sweet of you to say. Thank you. You guys are so adorable. I can't. Power nap with Mito is literally the new move. That's not why you're following, bro. What do you mean? You goofball. Okay. Okay. You guys ready for some Coraline? Actually, should we start with Coraline or Name of the Wind? Let's do a poll. What to read first? Okay, go vote in the poll so I can see what you guys want. Name of the Wind? Yo, Cootie, what's up? I appreciate you stopping by, brother. Laura, you want me to read the fanfic that badly? I would really prefer to read it first, at least the portion that I'm going to read on stream. Grace. Go sleep. Thank you for lurking, Good. I appreciate you. Okay. Got things ready. You don't wanna? You're saying you don't want to lay in bed, get all cozy, and just have me whispering in your ear. That doesn't sound like a nice time. The first ever stream you found me was an ASMR reading stream. And it was the stream I started Coraline. Really? I didn't remember. That's awesome. Huh. If I tuck you in, you'll fall asleep. Damn, we want Name of the Wind, huh? Alright, we could do that. Name of the Wind sounds good. I didn't realize you guys were enjoying Name of the Wind that much. It is my favorite book for a reason. Either one is fine with you. I got you, Linda. All right, we'll start with Name of the Wind. Okay, I want to take another sip. You'll stay as long as possible. You have work tomorrow. Don't worry about it, Emmy. Okay. Sleep when you want to sleep. I've got Kai here. I think I have Zeri. And of course, I'm here too. Since I'm not playing something, it's easier for me to, take action if I need to. Although it is kind of difficult for me to read chat while I'm reading a book at times. So it is a very good book, but we haven't even gotten to the good part. The Name of the Wind, this is just the intro. We haven't even gotten to the story yet, the meat and potatoes. This is literally like, this isn't even that, well, I guess this is like the appetizer. This is like the mott sticks. Never heard of that story, so you'll listen to it? Okay. So, anyone who was not here when we read Name of the Wind in the past, this is basically what happened so far. The story revolves around an innkeeper named Coat. His inn is named the Wayfarer, and one night there were a few townspeople in the inn. They were drinking, eating, telling stories. And one of their friends came in the door. He was all cut up and he had something in a blanket. And they opened it to see a giant spider that was hard as porcelain. Lara, what's going on? Good to see you. How you doing? Nico too? Oh my goodness. We're blessed by cuties today. Hydrate? I can do that, Wolfie. I'm doing pretty good, Laura. Thanks for asking. How are you, Nico? I thought that might have been planned. Are you guys hanging out together? Behehehe. You aren't? It just so happened that you came in at the exact same time. Oh, she can't hear. Okay. Nico's so cute. Right, so the spider, big spider, hard as porcelain. They think it's a demon, so they burn it and bury the body. Then let's see what else happened. Coat, the innkeeper, talks with his apprentice Bast. Then let's see. I think long story short, right, so someone comes into the inn, goes by Chronicler. He gets drunk, and he says he recognizes Coat, calls him Kvothe. Coat denies it. Coat fakes an injury to go upstairs, and he tells Bast that he's been recognized. And they put Chronicler to sleep, and then starting chapter 4, I think we're continuing that story. So, Chapter 4, Halfway to Nowhere. Nowhere, like it's spelled weirdly. It's a place like that. Halfway to nowhere. Alright, good night, Starry. Chronicler walked. Yesterday he had limped, but today there was no part of his feet that didn't hurt, so limping did no good. He had searched for horses in Abbotsford and Ranish, offering outrageous prices for even the most broken down animals. But in small towns like these, people didn't have horses to spare, especially not with harvest fast approaching. Despite a hard day's walking, he was still on the road when night fell, making the rutted dirt road a stumbling ground of half-seen shapes. After 2 hours of fumbling through the dark, Chronicler saw a light flickering through the trees and abandoned any thought of making it to nowhere that night, deciding if Farmstead's hospitality would be welcome enough. He left the road, blundering through the trees toward the light, but the fire was farther away than he'd thought, and larger. It wasn't lamplight from a house, or even sparks from a campfire. It was a bonfire, roaring in the ruins of an old house, little more than 2 crumbling stone walls. Huddled into the corner those 2 walls made was a man. He wore a heavy hooded cloak, bundled up as if it were full winter, and not a mild autumn evening. Chronicler's hopes rose at the sight of a small cook fire with a pot hanging over it. But as he came close, he caught a foul scent mingling with the wood smoke. It reeked of burning hair and rotting flowers. Chronicler quickly decided that whatever the man was cooking in the iron pot, he wanted none of it. Still, even a place next to a fire was better than curling up by the side of the road. Chronicler stepped into the circle of firelight. I saw your He stopped as the figure sprang quickly to its feet, a sword held with both hands. No, not a sword. A long, dark cudgel of some sort, too regularly shaped to be a piece of firewood. Chronicler stopped dead in his tracks. I was just looking for a place to sleep, he said quickly, his hand unconsciously clutching at the circle of iron that hung around his neck. I don't want any trouble. I'll leave you to your dinner. He took a step backward. The figure relaxed, and the cudgel dropped to grate metallically against a stone. Charred body of God, what are you doing out here at this time of night? I was headed to nowhere and I saw your fire. You just followed a strange fire into the woods at night? The hooded figure shook his head. You might as well come here. He motioned Chronicler closer, and the scribe saw he was wearing thick leather gloves. Tell you anyway, have you had bad luck your whole life, or have you just been saving it all up for tonight? I don't know who you're waiting for, Chronicler said, taking a step backward, but I'm sure he'd rather do it alone. Shut up and listen, the man said sharply. I don't know how much time we have. He looked down and rubbed at his face. God, I never know how much to tell you people. If you don't believe me, you'll think I'm crazy. If you do believe me, you'll panic and be worse than useless. Looking back up, he saw Chronicler hadn't moved. Get over here, damn you. If you go back out there, you're as good as dead. Chronicler glanced over his shoulder into the dark of the forest. Why? What's out there? The man gave a short, bitter laugh and shook his head in exasperation. Honestly, he ran his hand absent-mindedly through his hair, brushing his hood back in the process. In the firelight, his hair was impossibly red, his eyes a shocking, vibrant green. He looked at Chronicler, sizing him up. Demons, he said. Demons in the shape of big, black spiders. Chronicler relaxed. There's no such thing as demons. From his tone, it was obvious he'd said the same thing many, many times before. The red-haired man gave an incredulous laugh. Ha! Well, I guess we can all go home then. He flashed a manic grin at Chronicler. Listen, I'm guessing you're an educated man. I respect that, and for the most part, you're right. His expression went serious. But here and now, tonight, you're wrong. Wrong as wrong can be. You don't want to be on that side of the fire when you figure that out. The flat certainty in the man's voice sent a chill down Chronicler's back. Feeling more than slightly foolish, he stepped delicately around to the other side of the bonfire. The man sized him up quickly. I don't suppose you have any weapons? Chronicler shook his head. Thank you for lurking, Zeri. I appreciate you. It doesn't really matter. A sword wouldn't do you much good. He handed Chronicler a heavy piece of firewood. You probably won't be able to hit one, but it's worth a try. They're fast. If one of them gets on you, just fall down. Try to land on it, crush it with your body, roll on it. If you get hold of one, throw it into the fire. He drew the hood back over his head, speaking quickly. If you have any extra clothes, put them on. If you have a blanket you could wrap. He stopped suddenly and looked out across the circle of firelight. Get your back against the wall, he said abruptly, bringing his iron cudgel up with both hands. Chronicler looked past the bonfire. Something dark was moving in the trees. They came into the light, moving low across the ground. Black shapes, many-legged and large as cartwheels. One, quicker than the rest, rushed into the firelight without hesitating, moving with the disturbing, sinuous speed of a scuttling insect. Before Chronicler could raise his piece of firewood, the thing skirted sideways around the bonfire and sprang at him, quick as a cricket. Chronicler threw up his hands just as the black thing struck his face and chest. Its cold, hard legs scrabbled for a hold, and he felt bright stripes of pain across the backs of his arms. Staggering away, the scribe felt his heel snag on the rough ground, and he began to topple over backward, arms flailing wildly. As he fell, Chronicler caught one last glimpse of the circle of firelight. More of the black things were scuttling out of the dark, their feet beating a quick staccato rhythm against roots and rocks and leaves. On the other side of the fire, the man in the heavy cloak held his iron cudgel ready with both hands. He stood perfectly still, perfectly silent, waiting. Still falling backward with the dark thing on top of him, Chronicler felt a dull, dark explosion as the back of his head struck the stone wall behind him. The world slowed, turned blurry, then black. Chronicler opened his eyes to a confusing mass of dark shapes and firelight. His skull throbbed. There were several lines of bright, clear pain crossing the backs of his arms, and a dull ache that pulled at his left side every time he drew in a breath. After a long moment of concentration, the world came into a blurry focus. The bundled man sat nearby. He was no longer wearing his gloves, and his heavy cloak hung off his body in loose tatters, but other than that, he seemed unscathed. His hood was up, hiding his face. "You're awake?" the man asked curiously. "That's good. You can never be sure with a head wound." The hood tilted a bit. "Can you talk? Do you know where you are?" "Yes," Chronicler said thickly. It seemed to take far too much effort to make a single word. "Even better. Now, third time pays for all. Do you think you can stand up and lend me a hand? We need to burn that and bury the bodies." Chronicler moved his head a bit and felt suddenly dizzy and nauseous. "What happened?" "I might have broken a couple of your ribs," the man said. "One of them was all over you. I didn't have a lot of options." He shrugged. "I'm sorry, for whatever that's worth. I've already stitched up the cuts on your arms. They should heal up nicely." "They're gone?" The hood nodded once. "The Skrael don't retreat. They're like wasps from a hive. They keep attacking until they die." A horrified look spread over Chronicler's face. "There's a hive of these things?" "Dear God, no. There were just these 5. Still, we have to burn and bury them just to be sure. I already cut the wood we'll need, Ash and Rowan." Chronicler gave a laugh that sounded slightly hysterical, just like the children's song. "Let me tell you what to do. Dig a pit that's 10 by 2, Ash and Elm and Rowan too." "Yes, indeed," the bundled man said dryly. You'd be surprised at the sort of things hidden away in children's songs. But while I don't think we need to dig the entire 10 feet down, I wouldn't refuse a little help. He trailed off meaningfully. Chronicler moved one hand to feel the back of his head gingerly, then looked at his fingers, surprised that they weren't covered in blood. I think I'm fine, he said as he cautiously levered himself up onto one elbow and from there into a sitting position. Is there any? His eyes flickered, and he went limp, falling bonelessly backward. His head struck the ground, bounced once, and came to rest, tilted slightly to one side. Coate sat patiently for a few long moments, watching the unconscious man. When there was no movement other than the chest slowly rising and falling, he came stiffly to his feet and knelt at Chronicler's side. Coate lifted one eyelid, then the other, and grunted at what he saw, not seeming particularly surprised. I don't suppose there's any chance of you waking up again? He asked without much hope in his voice. He tapped Chronicler's pale cheek lightly. No chance at a drop of blood spotted Chronicler's forehead, followed quickly by another. Coate straightened up so that he was no longer leaning over the unconscious man and wiped the blood away as best he could, which wasn't very well, as his hands were already smeared with it themselves. Sorry, he said absently. He gave a deep sigh and pushed back his hood. His red hair was matted down against his head, and half his face was smeared with drying blood. Slowly he began to peel away the tattered remains of his cloak. Underneath was a leather blacksmith's apron, wildly scored with cuts. He removed that as well, revealing a plain gray shirt of homespun. Both his shoulders and his left arm were dark and wet with blood. Coate fingered the buttons of his shirt for a moment, then decided against removing it. Climbing gingerly to his feet, he picked up the spade and slowly, painfully, began to dig. Hey, Prince Haydn, welcome in. I forgot that I didn't put the name of the book we're reading in the title. We're reading Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. It's one of my favorite books. How you doing, Haydn? That was the end of chapter 4. You almost thought I was going to say something else? What did you think I was going to say? Just rested all day because danced for 6 hours last night? Damn. 6 hours? What was going on? Did you have a wedding or something? Nothing, never mind. No, tell me. You dance while you play violin? That's fucking awesome. I love that. Alright, friends. I'm gonna step away and use the restroom. And I'm gonna play an ad so we can get rid of pre-rolls for a while. When I come back, we'll finish and or we'll finish? No, we'll continue with chapter 5. I'll be right back, guys. Mwah. Quick, someone tell me while she's gone. Oh, that's the wrong scene. Shit. I realized it's kind of a dick move for me to switch scenes while I'm in ASMR. Because my stinger is kind of loud, isn't it? My transition. Yeah, I should probably avoid switching scenes. Come on, tell me. Tell me. You can't sleep? Welcome back, Laura. When are you gonna tell me what I want? Huh? Be a good girl and tell me, yeah? You passed out so fast. I'm sorry if my stinger transition woke you up. No? You woke up when I went away? Like before the transition? Either way, I should stop using it when I'm doing ASMR. I got you. I should stop going away. Aw. Cute. I'll do my best. I can't always be here, you know? Even though I like to. Okay, you guys ready for chapter 5? That audio almost ready? I know the word. I don't even know what sentence you were thinking of, though. I don't have much context to work with. Alright, anyway. Chapter 5. Notes. Oh wait, I need to turn this back down. Starts with... Okay. I got you. Alright, well, I'm gonna start reading again, Princess, so get ready. Chapter 5. Notes. It was well past midnight by the time Coat made it back to nowhere with Chronicler's limp body slung across his lacerated shoulders. The town's houses and shops were dark and silent, but the Waystone Inn was full of light. Okay, sorry. That's fine. Bast stood in the doorway, practically dancing with irritation. When he spotted the approaching figure, he rushed down the street. Oh, Spectre. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. How am I not following you? What the hell? I thought I was. How you doing, bro? Welcome to the powerhouse. I've definitely seen you around. Good night, Starry. Rest well. You've heard legends of the one and only Mido. I hope only good things. But I can be pretty bad if I want to be. So I wouldn't be surprised if you heard some less than good. And likewise, I've heard legends of you. I hope you're having a good night. Today we're doing some ASMR reading. Or I'm guessing it's night for you. It's night for most of you guys, right? 9:37 a.m. for me. Stretch? I can do that. It's getting there, but West Coast time be weird. I feel that. Yeah, I guess it's like late afternoon for you. Or almost evening. Alright, good night, Starry. 8:40 p.m. for you? So you're Eastern time, Linda. I see you. Alright, shall we continue with the story? Bast stood in the doorway, practically dancing with irritation. When he spotted the approaching figure, he rushed down the street, waving a piece of paper angrily. A note? You sneak out and leave me a note? He hissed angrily. What am I, some dark side whore? Some dockside whore? Coat turned around and shrugged Chronicler's limp body into Bast's arms. I knew you would just argue with me, Bast. Bast held Chronicler easily in front of him. It wasn't even a good note. If you are reading this, I am probably dead. What sort of a note is that? You weren't supposed to find it till morning, Coat said tiredly as they began to walk down the street to an inn. Sorry, I'm going to turn down the music a little bit more. There we go. Bast looked down at the man he was carrying, as if noticing him for the first time. Who is this? He shook him a little, eyeing him curiously before slinging him easily over one shoulder like a burlap sack. Some unlucky sod who happened to be on the road at the wrong time, Coat said dismissively. Don't shake him too much, his head might be on a little loose. What the hell did you sneak off for anyway? Bast demanded as they entered the inn. If you're going to leave a note, it should at least tell me what. Bast's eyes widened as he saw Coat in the light of the inn, pale and streaked with blood and dirt. You can go ahead and worry if you want, Coat said dryly. It's every bit as bad as it looks. You went out hunting for them, didn't you? Bast hissed. Then his eyes widened. No, you kept a piece of the one Carter killed. I can't believe you. You lied to me. To me. Coat sighed as he trudged up the stairs. Are you upset by the lie or the fact that you didn't catch me at it? He asked as he began to climb. Bast sputtered. I'm upset that you thought you couldn't trust me. They let their conversation lapse as they opened one of the many empty rooms on the second floor, undressed Chronicler and tucked him snugly into bed. Coat left the man's satchel and travel sack on the floor nearby. Closing the door to the room behind him, Coat said, I trust you, Bast, but I wanted you safe. I knew I could handle it. I could have helped, Reshi. Bast's tone was injured. You know I would have. You can still help, Bast, Coat said as he made his way to his room and sat heavily on the edge of his narrow bed. I need some stitching done. He began to unbutton his shirt. I could do it myself, but the tops of my shoulders and my back are hard to reach. Nonsense, Reshi, I'll do it. Coat made a gesture to the door. My supplies are down in the basement. Bast sniffed disdainfully. I will use my own needles, thank you very much. Good, honest bone. None of your nasty, jagged iron things stabbing you like little slivers of hate. He shivered. Stream and stone. It's frightening how primitive you people are. Bast bustled out of the room, leaving the door open behind him. Coat slowly removed his shirt, grimacing and sucking his breath through his teeth as the dried blood stuck and tugged against the wounds. His face went stoic again when Bast came back into the room with a basin of water and began to clean him off. As the dried blood was washed away, a wild scoring of long, straight cuts became clear. They gaped redly against the innkeeper's fair skin, as if he had been slashed with a barber's razor or a piece of broken glass. There were perhaps a dozen cuts in all, most of them on the tops of his shoulders, a few across his back and along his arms. One started on the top of his head and ran down his scalp to behind his ear. I thought you weren't supposed to bleed, Reshi, Bast said, bloodless and all that. Don't believe everything you hear in stories, Bast. They lie to you. Well, you aren't nearly as bad off as I thought, Bast said, wiping his hands clean. Though by all rights you should have lost a piece of your ear. Were they wounded like the one that attacked Carter? Not that I could see, Coate said. How many were there? 5. 5? Bast said, aghast. How many did the other fellow kill? He distracted one of them for a while, Coate said generously. Anpan, Rishi, Bast said, shaking his head as he threaded a bone needle with something thinner and finer than gut. You should be dead. You should be dead twice. Coate shrugged. It's not the first time I should be dead, Bast. I'm a fair hand at avoiding it. Bast bent to his work. This will sting a bit, he said, his hands strangely gentle. Honestly, Rashi, I can't see how you've managed to stay alive this long. Coate shrugged again and closed his eyes. Neither do I, Bast, he said. His voice was tired and gray. Hours later, the door to Coate's room cracked open, and Bast peered inside. Hearing nothing but slow, measured breathing, the young man walked slowly, softly, to stand beside the bed and bent over the sleeping man. Bast eyed the color of his cheeks, smelled his breath, and lightly touched his forehead, his wrist, and the hollow of his throat above his heart. Then Bast drew a chair alongside the bed and sat, watching his master, listening to him breathe. After a moment, he reached out and brushed the unruly red hair from his face, like a mother would with a sleeping child. Then he began to sing softly, the tune lilting and strange, almost a lullaby. How odd to watch a mortal kindle, then to dwindle day by day, knowing their bright souls are tender, and the wind will have its way. Would I could my own fire lend, what does your flickering portend? Bast's voice faded until at last he sat motionless, watching the rise and fall of his master's silent breathing through the long hours of morning's early dark. I'm glad you think so, Laura. Sweet for saying so. That was the end of chapter 5. That was a short one. I think we could at least read one more chapter, yeah? Hello, Peaches. Welcome in. How are you doing today? Oh, that sip of water was so good. Doing well? I'm glad to hear that. I'm doing very well, thank you. It's been a nice morning. Aside from being bullied by Chad a little bit. Right now we're reading Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Do you know it? No, they weren't being mean. But they were being ridiculous. Yeah, it's very good. It's my favorite book. We're about to start chapter 6. Oh, son, I love Jupiter so much, you don't have any idea. I don't know when I became such a cat person, but I can't. Not me actually going into my IRL or Food Pics channel just so I can see pictures of Jupiter. Oh my goodness. Ah, Jupiter's so cute. I can't. Uh, why are you ridiculous? No, 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 you're not. You're not. Go in my Discord. Look at Jupiter. Ah, what a cutie. I did call you ridiculous. You can send me Jupiter shenanigans. Please do anytime. I would love that. Yes, yes, yes. My sister has a black cat. I love him so much. His name's Larry. And he's my favorite. But black cats are so great. Hmm. Okay. How cute. Oh, yeah. Larry's a little crackhead, but I love him. And it's such a good name for a cat, right? Yo, Addie, welcome back. You have 3 cats, black, tuxedo, and orange, Tabby. Aw. Feel free to post any of your cat pictures in the Discord, Linda, if you'd like to. How's it going? It's going good. We finished 2 chapters of Name of the Wind. We're about to get into chapter 6. Oh. But I was just melting over Jupiter. You know how it is. All right, shall we? Chapter 6. The Price of Remembering. It was early evening of the next day before Chronicler came down the stairs to the common room of the Waystone Inn. Pale and unsteady, he carried his flat leather satchel under one arm. Coat sat behind the bar, paging through a book. Ah, our unintentional guest. How's the head? Chronicler raised a hand to touch the back of his head. Throbs a bit when I move around too quickly, but it's still working. Glad to hear it, Coat said. Is this? Chronicler hesitated, looking around. Are we in nowhere? Coat nodded. You are, in fact, in the middle of nowhere. He made a dramatic, sweeping gesture with one hand. Thriving metropolis, home to dozens. Chronicler stared at the red-haired man behind the bar. He leaned against one of the tables for support. God's charred body, he said breathlessly. It really is you, isn't it? The innkeeper looked puzzled. I beg your pardon? I know you're going to deny it, Chronicler said, but what I saw last night. The innkeeper held up a hand, quieting him. Before we discuss the possibility that you've addled your wits with that crack to the head, tell me, how is the road to Tinue? What? Chronicler asked, irritated. I wasn't heading to Tinue. I was... Oh. Well, even aside from last night, the road's been pretty rough. I was robbed off by Abbott's Ford, and I've been on foot ever since. But it was all worth it since you're actually here. The scribe glanced at the sword hanging over the bar and drew a deep breath, his expression becoming vaguely anxious. I'm not here to cause trouble, mind you. I'm not here because of the price on your head. He gave a weak smile. Not that I could hope to trouble you. Fine, the innkeeper interrupted as he pulled out a white linen cloth and began to polish the bar. Who are you then? You can call me Chronicler. I didn't ask what I could call you, Coat said. What is your name? Devon. Devon Lockhees. Thanks for lurking, Kai. Coat stopped polishing the bar and looked up. Lockhees? Are you related to Duke? Coat trailed off, nodding to himself. Yes, of course you are. Not a chronicler, the chronicler. He stared hard at the balding man, looking him up and down. How about that? The great debunker himself. Chronicler relaxed slightly, obviously pleased to have his reputation precede him. I wasn't trying to be difficult before. I haven't thought of myself as Devon in years. I left that name behind me a long time ago. He gave the innkeeper a significant look. I expect you know something of that yourself. Coat ignored the unspoken question. I read your book years ago, The Mating Habits of the Common Dracus. Quite the eye-opener for a young man with his head full of stories. Looking down, he began moving the white cloth along the grain of the bar again. I'll admit, I was disappointed to learn that dragons didn't exist. That's a hard lesson for a boy to learn. Chronicler smiled. Honestly, I was a little disappointed myself. I went looking for a legend and found a lizard. A fascinating lizard, but a lizard just the same. And now you're here, Coat said. Have you come to prove that I don't exist? Chronicler laughed nervously. No, you see, we heard a rumor. We? Coat interrupted. I've been traveling with an old friend of yours, Scarpy. Taken you under his wing, has he? Coat said to himself. How about that, Scarpy's apprentice? More of a colleague, really. Coat nodded, still expressionless. I might have guessed he would be the first to find me. Rumor mongers, both of you. Ah. Kai, you're such a good girl, and I'm proud of you. Chronicler's smile grew sour, and he swallowed the first words that came to his lips. He struggled for a moment to recapture his calm demeanor. So, what can I do for you? Coat set aside the clean linen cloth and gave his best innkeeper's smile. Something to eat or drink? A room for the night? Chronicler hesitated. I have it all right here. Coat gestured expansively behind the bar. Old wine, smooth and pale. Honey mead. Dark ale. Sweet fruit liquor. Plum. Cherry. Green apple. Blackberry. Coat pointed out the bottles in turn. Come now, surely you must want something. As he spoke, his smile widened, showing too many teeth for a friendly innkeeper's grin. At the same time, his eyes grew cold, hard, and angry. Chronicler dropped his gaze. I'd thought that you thought, Coat said derisively, dropping all pretense of a smile. I very much doubt it, otherwise you might have thought, he bit off the word, of how much danger you were putting me in by coming here. Chronicler's face grew red. I'd heard that Quoth was fearless, he said hotly. The innkeeper shrugged. Only priests and fools are fearless, and I've never been on the best terms with God. Chronicler frowned, aware that he was being baited. Listen, he continued calmly. I was extraordinarily careful. No one except Scarpy knew I was coming. I didn't mention you to anyone. I didn't expect to actually find you. Imagine my relief, Coat said sarcastically. Obviously disheartened, Chronicler spoke. I'll be the first to admit that my coming here may have been a mistake. He paused, giving Coat the opportunity to contradict him. Coat didn't. Chronicler gave a small, tight sigh and continued. But what's done is done. Won't you even consider? Coat shook his head. It was a long time ago. Not even 2 years, Chronicler protested. And I am not what I was, Coat continued without pausing. And what was that exactly? Quoth, he said simply, refusing to be drawn any further into an explanation. Now I am Coat. I tend to my inn. That means beer is 3 shims and a private room costs copper. He began polishing the bar again with a fierce intensity. As you said, done is done. The stories will take care of themselves. But, Coat looked up, and for a second Chronicler saw past the anger that lay glittering on the surface of his eyes. For a moment he saw the pain underneath, raw and bloody, like a wound too deep for healing. Then Coat looked away, and only the anger remained. What could you possibly offer me that is worth the price of remembering? Everyone thinks you're dead. You don't get it, do you? Code shook his head, stuck between amusement and exasperation. That's the whole point. People don't look for you when you're dead. Old enemies don't try to settle scores. People don't come asking you for stories, he said acidly. Chronicler refused to back down. Other people say you're a myth. I am a myth, Code said easily, making an extravagant gesture. A very special kind of myth that creates itself. The best lies about me are the ones I told. They say you never existed, Chronicler corrected gently. Code shrugged nonchalantly, his smile fading an imperceptible amount. Sensing weakness, Chronicler continued. Some stories paint you as little more than a red-handed killer. I'm that too. Code turned to polish the counter behind the bar. He shrugged again, not as easily as before. I've killed men and things that were more than men. Every one of them deserved it. Chronicler shook his head slowly. The stories are saying assassin, not hero. Quoth the arcane and quoth king killer are two very different men. Code stopped polishing the bar and turned his back to the room. He nodded once without looking up. Some are even saying there is a new Chandrian, a fresh terror in the night, his hair as red as the blood he spills. The important people know the difference, Code said, as if he were trying to convince himself, but his voice was weary and despairing, without conviction. Chronicler gave a small laugh. Certainly, for now. But you of all people should realize how thin the line is between the truth and a compelling lie, between history and an entertaining story. Chronicler gave his words a minute to sink in. You know which will win, given time. Code remained facing the back wall, hands flat on the counter. His head was bowed slightly, as if a great weight had settled onto him. He did not speak. Chronicler took an eager step forward, sensing victory. Some people say there was a woman. What do they know? Code's voice cut like a saw through bone. What do they know about what happened? He spoke so softly that Chronicler had to hold his breath to hear. They say she, Chronicler's words stuck in his suddenly dry throat as the room grew unnaturally quiet. Code stood with his back to the room, a stillness in his body and a terrible silence clenched between his teeth. His right hand, tangled in a clean white cloth, made a slow fist. 8 inches away, a bottle shattered. The smell of strawberries filled the air alongside the sound of splintering glass. A small noise inside, so great a stillness. But it was enough to break the silence into small, sharp slivers. Chronicler felt himself go cold as he suddenly realized what a dangerous game he was playing. So this is the difference between telling a story and being in one, he thought numbly. The fear. Code turned. What can any of them know about her? He asked softly. Chronicler's breath stopped when he saw Code's face. The placid innkeeper's expression was like a shattered mask. Underneath, Code's expression was haunted, eyes half in this world, half elsewhere, remembering. Chronicler found himself thinking of a story he had heard. One of the many. The story told of how Quoth had gone looking for his heart's desire. He had to trick a demon to get it, but once it rested in his hand, he was forced to fight an angel to keep it. I believe it, Chronicler found himself thinking. Before, it was just a story, but now I can believe it. This is the face of a man who has killed an angel. What can any of them know about me? Code demanded, a numb anger in his voice. What can they know about any of this? He made a short, fierce gesture that seemed to take in everything, the broken bottle, the bar, the world. Chronicler swallowed against the dryness in his throat. Only what they're told. Tap, 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 tap. Liquor from the broken bottle began to patter in irregular rhythm onto the floor. Ah, Code sighed out a long breath. Tat, 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 tat. Clever. You'd use my own best trick against me. You'd hold my story a hostage. I would tell the truth. Nothing but the truth could break me. What is harder than the truth? A sickly, mocking smile flickered across his face. For a long moment, only the gentle tapping of drops against the floor kept the silence at bay. Finally, Coat walked through the doorway behind the bar. Chronicler stood awkwardly in the empty room, unsure whether or not he had been dismissed. A few minutes later, Coat returned with a bucket of soapy water. Without looking in the storyteller's direction, he began to gently, methodically wash his bottles, one at a time. Coat wiped their bottoms clean of the strawberry wine and set them on the bar between himself and Chronicler, as if they might defend him. "So you went looking for a myth and found a man," he said without inflection, without looking up. "You've heard the stories, and now you want the truth of things." Radiating himself, Chronicler set his satchel down on one of the tables, surprised at the slight tremor in his hands. "We got wind of you a while back, just a whisper of a rumor. I didn't really expect..." Chronicler paused, suddenly awkward. "I thought you would be older." "I am," Coat said. Chronicler looked puzzled, but before he could say anything, the innkeeper continued. "What brings you into this worthless little corner of the world?" "An appointment with the Earl of Baden-Bright," Chronicler said, puffing himself up slightly. 3 days from now, in Treya." The innkeeper paused mid-polish. "You expect to make it to the Earl's manor in 4 days?" he asked quietly. "I am behind schedule," Chronicler admitted. "My horse was stolen near Abbott's Ford." He glanced out the window at the darkening sky. "But I'm willing to lose some sleep. I'll be off in the morning and out of your hair." "Well, I wouldn't want to cost you any sleep," Coat said sarcastically, his eyes gone hard again. "I can tell the whole thing in one breath. He cleared his throat. "I trooped, traveled, loved, lost, trusted, and was betrayed. Write that down and burn it for all the good it will do you." "You needn't take it that way," Chronicler said quickly. "We can take the whole night if you'd like, and a few hours in the morning as well." "How gracious," Coat snapped. "You'll have me tell my story in an evening, with no time to collect myself, no time to prepare?" His mouth made a thin line. "No, go dally with your Earl. I'll have none of it." Chronicler spoke quickly. "If you're certain you'll need..." "Yes." Coat set a bottle down hard on the bar. "Hard. It's safe to say I'll need more time than that, and you'll get none of it tonight. A real story takes time to prepare." Chronicler frowned nervously and ran his hands through his hair. "I could spend tomorrow collecting your story." He trailed off at the sight of Coat shaking his head. After a pause, he started again, almost talking to himself. "If I pick up a horse in Baden, I can give you all day tomorrow, most of the night, and a piece of the following day." He rubbed his forehead. "I hate riding at night, but..." "I'll need 3 days," Coat said. "I'm quite sure of it." Chronicler blanched. "But the Earl..." Coat waved a hand dismissively. "No one needs 3 days," Chronicler said firmly. "I interviewed Oren Velsitter. Oren Velsitter, mind you. He's 80 years old and done 200 years worth of living. 500 if you count the lies. He sought me out," Chronicler said with particular emphasis. "He only took 2 days." "That is my offer," the innkeeper said simply. "I'll do this properly or not at all." "Hold on a moment," Chronicler brightened suddenly. "I've been thinking about this all backward." He shook his head at his own foolishness. "I'll just visit the Earl, then come back. You can have all the time you'd like then. I could even bring Scarpy back with me." Coat gave Chronicler a look of profound disdain. "What gives you the slightest impression that I would be here when you came back?" he asked incredulously. "For that matter, what makes you think you're free to simply walk out of here knowing what you know?" "Yo, Mizu, what's going on, brother? How you doing?" "Oh, stretch, posture check? I can do that." "Oh, thank you. How you doing today?" Good to see you, good to see you. I'll drink some water too on the house." Just woke up. How's the ASMR going? It's going pretty well, I'd say. I'm enjoying myself at least. How'd you sleep? Who spammed to hydrate? It's okay. I took a sip anyways. I'll still drink water when I want to. Actually, I'll drink a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Poofy, thank you for the head rub. Good luck to you. Alright, let's finish this chapter. We're on the last page. Chronicler went very still. He swallowed and started again. Are you saying that the story will take 3 days? Code interrupted. Starting tomorrow. That is what I'm saying. Like a rock unmoving, dauntless. I fucking love that. Chronicler closed his eyes and ran his hand over his face. The Earl would be furious, of course. No telling what it might take to get back in his good graces. Still, if that's the only way I can get it, I accept. I'm glad to hear it. The innkeeper relaxed into a half smile. Come now, is 3 days really so unusual? Chronicler's serious expression returned. 3 days is quite unusual, but then again, some of the self-importance seemed to leak out of him. Then again, he made a gesture as if to show how useless words were. You are, quoth. The man who called himself Coat looked up from behind his bottles. A full-lipped smile played about his mouth. A spark was kindling behind his eyes. He seemed taller. Yes, I suppose I am, Quoth said, and his voice had iron in it. Oh, this book is so good. I love it so much. That was the end of chapter 6. Now, this next chapter, I think, is when the story begins. So we have a choice. We've been reading this book for about an hour now. We can continue, or we can switch to Coraline. Let's do another poll. See where everyone's at. I guess I'll throw in a something else option too, yeah? I hope you guys are having a nice night. I definitely am. Yeah, I'm glad. Moo, did I greet you? If I didn't, hi Moo. I appreciate you. I'm not sure if I specifically said hello to you. You're enjoying listening while working on stuff? I like that. Something else. Okay. Yeah, that seems like a good call. I think because this next chapter of Name of the Wind is going to start getting into the story, it would be a pretty decent call to just like save that for next time. And then it'll flow better. Yeah. I like that. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, then we'll switch over to Coraline. Beautiful. I've been enjoying Coraline a lot too. We can take a second to just vibe first, though. We don't have to go right into reading. I'm guessing a few people fell asleep. Hey, Viva. Welcome. How you doing? finished a quarter of your midterms due tonight. Well, that's good at least. You're starting it on your way there. You stuck with hardcore morning voice. You see a poll and it says Coraline. Yeah, Laura, we're switching to Coraline right now. Or I'm gonna chat for like a couple minutes. Take a break from just continuously reading. But yeah, we're gonna go to Coraline. We are about to start chapter 10. Your homework no longer exists. Yeah, good. Laura, thank you for the head rub. I appreciate it. Actually, this would be a good time for me to think about food, because I've not eaten yet. Thank you for lurking, Laura. I appreciate you. It's Coraline time. Yeah. Did you guys all eat? Don't forget to eat, drink water, take care of yourselves. It's important. I also need to eat. Yeah, I'm about to get some food. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Hydrate. You just spent... Laura, you realize you just spent 1,600 points on a hydrate redeem. Hey, Trickster, welcome in. How you doing? I appreciate you following a few days ago. You have lots of points? You don't want to save for like VIP or something? I guess, I mean, you can do whatever you want with your points, to be fair, but just for a hydrate, I don't know. How was my day? My day's been pretty good, but it's only 10:14 a.m. for me, so we're just getting started. All I've done today was wake up and stream. How was your day? Yo, Izzy, what's going on? Oops. You're just making me drink water? If that's worth that many points to you, then sure. You're giving me an essential to life. That's true. It is pretty essential, gotta say. You're letting me live. You think you have that much power over me, Laura? It's 9:14 p.m., so sleepy. That sounds like a fun day, Trickster. Well, we are doing some ASMR reading today, so if you'd like to, get comfy, sit back and relax, and maybe doze off, you're definitely welcome to. I can't drink water unless it's redeemed? That's not true. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I could say, fuck your redeem, I'm not going to drink water. I buy points. But I'm not going to do that. I already drank water. You were very comfy in chair. I like that. Good. Fight you? Bring it on. I'll throw hands. Oh no, not the chunkless. Okay. I take it back. Sorry, I'm gonna get this food ordered real quick. That looks insane. Sure, I'll get that. Okay, sounds good. Yum. And the order is placed. Beautiful. All right. There's this one cafe that only opens at 10 a.m., but they're like the only place that I've found that has breakfast sandwiches. They've got this like breakfast panini with eggs and bacon, and it's really fucking good. Hey, Donut Cat. I'm having a great stream so far. I hope you're having a lovely evening. Or night. Or whatever time it is for you. Yeah, yeah. So I waited to eat so I could order that specifically. Because it's really good. I am a sucker for breakfast food. I want omelets. I want pancakes. Waffles are good too. Breakfast sausage too? Oh my god. Breakfast sausage is where it's at. Let me know when to cook. Would you make me breakfast soup, Poofy? God, I'm weak. Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. Shall we get into Coraline? You do cook every day, so it counts for something. I don't cook much. I don't think I've cooked anything since coming to Japan, actually. And if you saw my kitchen, you'd understand why. But even before getting here, I did not cook much. I tried like HelloFresh a few times. I did a HelloFresh sponsorship before. But yeah, I feel like with HelloFresh, eventually I just like don't want to put the effort in, you know? I'm checking the Discord right now. Oh my god. And Kira too. Oh no. Oh my goodness. I'm melting. I'm so dead. They're so cute. I can't. Holy shit. You guys need to see these cats. Join the Discord. Go look at them. Give them ear scritches for me, okay? They deserve it. Okay. How about we get into Coraline? Yeah? Chapter 10. Coraline walked up the stairs outside the building to the topmost flat, where, in her world, the crazy old man upstairs lived. She had gone up there once with her real mother when her mother was collecting for charity. They had stood in the open doorway, waiting for the crazy old man with the big mustache to find the envelope that Coraline's mother had left. And the flat had smelled of strange foods and pipe tobacco and odd, sharp, cheesy-smelling things Coraline could not name. She had not wanted to go any farther inside than that. "I'm an explorer," said Coraline out loud, but her words sounded muffled and dead on the misty air. She had made it out of the cellar, hadn't she? And she had. But if there was one thing that Coraline was certain of, it was that this flat would be worse. She reached the top of the house. The topmost flat had once been the attic of the house, but that was long ago. She knocked on the green-painted door. It swung open, and she walked in. "We have eyes, and we have nerveses. We have tails, and we have teeth. You'll all get what you deserves it when your eyes from underneath." whispered a dozen or more tiny voices in that dark flat with the roof so low where it met the walls that Coraline could almost reach up and touch it. Red eyes stared at her. Little pink feet scurried away as she came close. Darker shadows slipped through the shadows at the edges of things. It smelled much worse in here than in the real crazy old man upstairs' flat. That smelled of food, unpleasant food to Coraline's mind, but she knew that was a matter of taste. She did not like spices, herbs, or exotic things. This place smelled as if all the exotic foods in the world had been left out to go rotten. "Little girl," said a rustling voice in a far room. "Yes," said Coraline. "I'm not frightened," she told herself. And as she thought it, she knew that it was true. There was nothing here that frightened her. These things, even the things in the cellar, were illusions. Things made by the other mother in a ghastly parody of the real people and real things on the other end of the corridor. She could not truly make anything, decided Coraline. She could only twist and copy and distort things that already existed. And then Coraline found herself wondering why the other mother would have placed a snow globe on the drawing room mantelpiece, where the mantelpiece in Coraline's world was quite bare. As soon as she had asked herself the question, she realized that there was actually an answer. Then the voice came again, and her train of thought was interrupted. "Come here, little girl. I know what you want, little girl." It was a rustling voice, scratchy and dry. It made Coraline think of some kind of enormous dead insect, which was silly, she knew. How could a dead thing, especially a dead insect, have a voice? She walked through several rooms with low, slanting ceilings until she came to the final room. It was a bedroom, and the other crazy old man upstairs sat at the far end of the room, in the near darkness, bundled up in his coat and hat. As Coraline entered, he began to talk. "Nothing's changed, little girl," he said, his voice sounding like the noise dry leaves make as they rustle across a pavement. "And what do you do? Everything you swore you. And what if you do everything you swore you would? What then? Nothing's changed. You'll go home. You'll be bored. You'll be ignored. No one will listen to you. Not really listen to you. You're too clever and too quiet for them to understand. They don't even get your name right. Stay here with us," said the voice from the figure at the end of the room. "We will listen to you and play with you and laugh with you. Your mother will build whole worlds for you to explore and tear them down every night when you are done. Every day will be better and brighter than the one that went before. Remember the toy box? How much better would a world be built just like that, and all for you? And there will be gray, wet days where I just don't know what to do, and there's nothing to read or to watch, and nowhere to go, and the day drags on forever?" asked Coraline. "And will there be?" From the shadows, the man said, "Never." "And will there be awful meals with food made from recipes with garlic and tarragon and broad beans in?" asked Coraline. "Every meal will be a thing of joy," whispered the voice from under the old man's hat. "Nothing will pass your lips that does not entirely delight you." "And I could have day-glow green gloves to wear and yellow Wellington boots in the shape of frogs?" asked Coraline. "Frogs, ducks, rhinos, octopuses, whatever you desire. The world will be built new for you every morning. If you stay here, you can have whatever you want." "Ah," Coraline sighed. "You really don't understand, do you?" she said. "I don't want whatever I want. Nobody does. Not really. What kind of fun would it be if I just got everything I ever wanted, just like that, and it didn't mean anything? What then?" "I don't understand," said the whispery voice. "Of course you don't understand," she said, raising the stone with a hole in it to her eye. "You're just a bad copy she made of the crazy old man upstairs." "Not even that anymore," said the dead, whispery voice. There was a glow coming from the raincoat of the man at about chest height. Through the hole in the stone, the glow twinkled and shone blue-white as any star. She wished she had a stick or something to poke him with. She had no wish to get any closer to the shadowy man at the end of the room. Coraline took a step closer to the man, and he fell apart. Black rats leapt from the sleeves and from under the coat and hat, a score or more of them, red eyes shining in the dark. They chittered and they fled. The coat fluttered and fell heavily to the floor. The hat rolled into one corner of the room. Coraline reached out one hand and pulled the coat open. It was empty, although it was greasy to the touch. There was no sign of the final glass marble in it. She scanned the room, squinting through the hole in the stone, and caught sight of something that twinkled and burned like a star at floor level by the doorway. It was being carried in the forepaws of the largest black rat. As she looked, it slipped away. The other rats watched her from the corners of the rooms as she ran after. Now, rats can run faster than people, especially over short distances. But a large black rat holding a marble in its two front paws is no match for a determined girl, even if she is small for her age, moving at a run. Smaller black rats ran back and forth across her path, trying to distract her, but she ignored them all, keeping her eyes fixed on the one with the marble, who was heading straight out of the flat toward the front door. They reached the steps on the outside of the building. Coraline had time to observe that the house itself was continuing to change, becoming less distinct and flattening out, even as she raced down the stairs. It reminded her of a photograph of a house, now, not the thing itself. Then she was simply racing pell-mell down the steps in pursuit of the rat, with no room in her mind for anything else, certain she was gaining on it. She was running fast, too fast, she discovered, as she came to the bottom of one flight of stairs, and her foot skidded and twisted as she went crashing onto the concrete landing. Her left knee was scraped and skin, and the palm of one hand she had thrown out to stop herself was a mess of scraped skin and grit. It hurt a little, and it would, she knew, soon hurt much more. She picked the grit out of her palm and climbed to her feet, and as fast as she could, knowing that she had lost and it was already too late, she went down to the final landing at the ground level. She looked around for the rat, but it was gone, and the marble with it. Her hand stung where the skin had been scraped, and there was blood trickling down her ripped pajama leg from her knee. It was as bad as the summer that her mother had taken the training wheels off Coraline's bicycle. But then, back then, in with all the cuts and scrapes, her knees had scabs on top of scabs. She had a feeling of achievement. She was learning something, doing something she had not known how to do. Now, she felt nothing but cold loss. She had failed the ghost children. She had failed her parents. She had failed herself, failed everything. She closed her eyes and wished that the earth would swallow her up. There was a cough. She opened her eyes and saw the rat. It was lying on the brick path at the bottom of the stairs with a surprised look on its face, which was now several inches away from the rest of it. Its whiskers were stiff, its eyes were wide open, its teeth visible and yellow and sharp. A collar of wet blood glistened at its neck. Beside the decapitated rat, a smug expression on its face, was the black cat. It rested one paw on the gray glass marble. "I think I once mentioned," said the cat, "that I don't like rats at the best of times. It looked like you needed this one, however. I hope you don't mind my getting involved." "I think," said Coraline, trying to catch her breath, "I think you may have said something of the sort." The cat lifted its paw from the marble, which rolled toward Coraline. She picked it up. In her mind, a final voice whispered to her urgently, "She has lied to you. She will never give you up now she has you. She will no more give any of us up than change her nature." The hairs on the back of Coraline's neck prickled, and Coraline knew that the girl's voice told the truth. She put the marble in her dressing gown pocket with the others. She had all 3 marbles now. All she needed to do was find her parents. You're goofy. I mean, you're not being lewd now, so it's all good, right? And, Coraline realized with surprise, that bit was easy. She knew exactly where her parents were. If she had stopped to think, she might have known where they were all along. The other mother could not create. She could only transform and twist and change. The mantelpiece in the drawing room back home was quite empty. But knowing that, she knew something else as well. The other mother. She plans to break her promise. She won't let us go, said Coraline. Thanks for lurking, Laura. I wouldn't put it past her, admitted the cat. Like I said, there's no guarantee she'll play fair. I appreciate you, Viva. And then he raised his head. Hello, did you see that? What? Look behind you, said the cat. The house had flattened out even more. It no longer looked like a photograph, more like a drawing, a crude charcoal scribble of a house drawn on gray paper. Whatever's happening, said Coraline, thank you for helping with the rat. I suppose I'm almost there, aren't I? So you go off into the mist or whatever you go, and I hope I get to see you at home, if she lets me go home. The cat's fur was on end, and its tail was bristling like a chimney sweep's brush. What's wrong? Asked Coraline. They've gone, said the cat. They aren't there anymore. The ways in and out of this place, they just went flat. Is that bad? The cat lowered its tail, swishing it from side to side angrily. It made a low growling noise in the back of its throat. It walked in a circle until it was facing away from Coraline. And then it began to walk backwards, stiffly, one step at a time, until it was pushing up against Coraline's leg. She put down a hand to stroke it and could feel how hard its heart was beating. It was trembling like a dead leaf in a storm. You'll be fine, said Coraline. Everything's going to be fine. I'll take you home. The cat said nothing. Come on, cat, said Coraline. She took a step back toward the steps, but the cat stayed where it was, looking miserable and oddly much smaller. God, that terrified. The mailman just dropped some mail through my mail slot. Oh, that made me jump. If the only way out is past her, said Coraline, then that's the way we're going to go. She went back to the cat, bent down and picked it up. The cat did not resist. It simply trembled. She supported its bottom with one hand, rested its front legs on her shoulders. The cat was heavy, but not too heavy to carry. It licked at the palm of her hand where the blood from the scrape was welling up. Coraline walked up the stairs one step at a time, heading back to her own flat. She was aware of the marbles clicking in her pocket, aware of the stone with a hole in it, aware of the cat pressing itself against her. She got to her front door, now just a small child's scrawl of a door. And she pushed her hand against it, half expecting that her hand would rip through it, revealing nothing behind it but blackness and a scattering of stars. But the door swung open, and Coraline went through. And that was chapter 10. How many chapters are in this book? I'm not quite sure. I'm glad you think so, Kira. Hello. I figured you might be here, considering that you posted your cat picture. You never read the book, but you saw the movie. I got you. I saw the first few minutes of the movie. I've never read the book, so this is my first time. And I'm enjoying it a lot so far. You've been here? I appreciate you. Shall we continue? Once inside her flat. Oh, chapter 11. Once inside her flat, or rather, in the flat that was not hers, Coraline was pleased to see that it had not transformed into the empty drawing that the rest of the house seemed to have become. It had depth and shadows, and someone who stood in the shadows waiting for Coraline to return. "So you're back," said the other mother. She did not sound pleased. "And you brought Vermin with you?" "No," said Coraline. "I brought a friend." She could feel the cat stiffening under her hands, as if it were anxious to be away. Coraline wanted to hold onto it like a teddy bear for reassurance, but she knew that cats hate to be squeezed, and she suspected that frightened cats were liable to bite and scratch if provoked in any way, even if they were on your side. Coraline movie night? We could do that once the book is finished. Yeah, I'd like that. I don't know if we'll be able to finish it today. And I'm not doing a reading stream next week. Just as a heads up, I've got some other things planned. But I'll announce that soon. "You know I love you," said the other mother flatly. "You have a very funny way of showing it," said Coraline. She walked down the hallway, then turned into the drawing room, steady step by steady step, pretending that she could not feel the other mother's blank black eyes on her back. Her grandmother's formal furniture was still there, and the painting on the wall of the strange fruit, but now the fruit in the painting had been eaten, and all that remained in the bowl was the browning core of an apple, several plum and peach stones, and the stem of what had formerly been a bunch of grapes. The lion-pawed table raked the carpet with his clawed wooden feet, as if it were impatient for something. At the end of the room, in the corner, stood the wooden door, which had once, in another place, opened onto a plain brick wall. Coraline tried not to stare at it. The window showed nothing but mist. This was it, Coraline knew. The moment of truth. The unraveling time. The other mother had followed her in. Now she stood in the center of the room, between Coraline and the mantelpiece, and looked down at Coraline with black button eyes. It was funny, Coraline thought. The other mother did not look anything at all like her own mother. She wondered how she had ever been deceived into imagining a resemblance. The other mother was huge. Her head almost brushed the ceiling, and very pale, the color of a spider's belly. Her hair writhed and twined about her head, and her teeth were sharp as knives. "Well," said the other mother sharply, "where are they?" Coraline leaned against an armchair, adjusted the cat with her left hand, put her right hand into her pockets, and pulled out the 3 glass marbles. They were a frosted gray, and they clinked together in the palm of her hand. The other mother reached her white fingers for them, but Coraline slipped them back into her pocket. She knew it was true then. The other mother had no intention of letting her go or keeping her word. It had been an entertainment and nothing more. "Hold on," she said. "We aren't finished yet, are we?" The other mother looked daggers, but she smiled sweetly. "No," she said, "I suppose not. After all, you still need to find your parents, don't you?" "Yes," said Coraline. I must not look at the mantelpiece, she thought. I must not even think about it. "Well," said the other mother, "produce them. Would you like to look in the cellar again? I have some other interesting things hidden down there, you know." "No," said Coraline. "I know where my parents are." The cat was heavy in her arms. She moved it forward, unhooking its claws from her shoulders as she did so. Where? It stands to reason, said Coraline. I've looked everywhere you'd hide them. They aren't in the house. The other mother stood very still, giving nothing away, lips tightly closed. She might have been a wax statue. Even her hair had stopped moving. So, Coraline continued, both hands wrapped firmly around the black cat. I know where they have to be. You've hidden them in the passageway between the houses, haven't you? They're behind that door. She nodded her head toward the door in the corner. The other mother remained statue still, but a hint of a smile crept back on her face. Oh, they are they? Why don't you open it, said Coraline. They'll be there all right. It was her only way home, she knew, but it all depended on the other mother needing to gloat, needing not only to win, but to show that she had won. The other mother reached her hand slowly into her apron pocket and produced the black iron key. The cat stirred uncomfortably in Coraline's arms, as if it wanted to get down. Just stay there for a few moments longer, she thought at it, wondering if it could hear her. I'll get us both home. I said I would, I promise. She felt the cat relax ever so slightly in her arms. The other mother walked over to the door and pushed the key into the lock. She turned the key. Coraline heard the mechanism clunk heavily. She was already starting, as quietly as she could, step by step, to back away toward the mantelpiece. The other mother pushed down on the door handle and pulled open the door, revealing a corridor behind it, dark and empty. There, she said, waving her hands at the corridor. The expression of delight on her face was a very bad thing to see. You're wrong. You don't know where your parents are, do you? They aren't there. She turned and looked at Coraline. Now, she said, you're going to stay here forever and always. Ah, my food is here. I'm gonna go grab that real quick. I'll be right back. I'm also gonna refill my water. Be right back. I'm back. Thank you for being patient. Damn it. You ever like fill your water and then do other things and then forget to bring your water with you? I just left my water sitting on top of my fridge, so I'll be right back. There we go. Much better. Yes. Let's eat, shall we? I'm fucking starving. I'm glad that it doesn't seem like you can hear the paper and like bag rustling. At least not a lot. What did you guys have for dinner? Oh shit. Ara. You like the ASMR crinkle? That's such a funny word, isn't it? Crinkle. Hi, C. How you doing, darling? Are you really just gonna call me Num Nums now? Is that just a thing? Oh boy. Ooh, tacos. What kind of tacos? Tum tum for the Num Nums. Holy shit. You actually gonna give me tummy though? There's that big talk. I mean, you gonna be a good girl and give me what I want? Or what? Oh. But you're a good girl too, Laura. Do you like that you're babysitting? Hmm. Ooh, chicken tacos. I love chicken. Chicken's like one of my favorite meats, if not my favorite. You're doing 3 things at once. Hmm. Laura, take a deep breath. In and out. You got this. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Caldo de pollo? What is caldo? My stream looks like I'm gonna throw up. I can't. I'm so upset. Laura, this is actually like disturbing me. Don't ever tell me I look like Fortnite. I'm gonna shit my pants. Hey Zeph, I don't know you, but what I do know is that you're such a good girl. And I'm proud of you for being a good friend to see. mm. Looks like another password generating bottom. I'll have to add that one to my password manager. Thank you, Zeph. Welcome to stream, darling. You're dead, but you can't die. I'm not done with you yet. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the powerhouse. Glad to have you here, Zeph. You're not okay. Oh, come on. I could get you real okay real quick if you want. You're adorable. And finally, you're not being bullied. See, you are such a good girl. And I'm so proud of you. Thank you for bringing your friend here. I love finding more bottoms to fluster, but not quite as much as I enjoy flustering you. Thank you, Zeri. You two are so adorable. Are you together IRL right now? Are you in a calm? Okay. Food has been consumed. I drank some more water. I'm feeling good. You're in a call. I got you. Yeah, of course. I love seeing new people join the Discord. It makes me really happy. Okay. So, shall we continue? If you had room, you would join. That's okay. Maybe eventually you'll decide that I'm worth leaving another server. As I speak. Oh. Hello, Rowan. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Powerhouse. How are you doing today? Thanks for lurking, Laura. Appreciate you. Oh, it's okay, Viola. I appreciate the lurk. Thank you for lurking as well, Zeph. Join the server, yeah. We got a nice little community going. Very welcoming people. Very warm. Oh, you said I'm sexy? You're not too bad yourself. Alright, shall we continue the story? She turned and looked at Coraline. Now, she said, you're going to stay here forever and always. No, said Coraline, I'm not. And, hard as she could, she threw the black cat toward the other mother. It yowled and landed on the other mother's head, claws flailing, teeth bared, fierce and angry. Fur on end, it looked half again as big as it was in real life. Without waiting to see what would happen, Coraline reached up to the mantelpiece and closed her hand around the snow globe, pushing it deep into the pocket of her dressing gown. The cat made a deep, ululating yowl and sank its teeth into the other mother's cheek. She was flailing at it. Blood ran from the cuts on her white face. Not red blood, but a deep, tarry black stuff. Coraline ran for the door. She pulled the key out of the lock. Leave her! Come on, she shouted to the cat. It hissed and swiped its scalpel-sharp claws at the other mother's face in one wild rake, which left a black ooze trickling from several gashes on the other mother's nose. Then it sprang down toward Coraline. Quickly, she said. The cat ran toward her, and they both stepped into the black corridor. It was colder in the corridor, like stepping down into a cellar on a warm day. The cat hesitated for a moment. Then, seeing the other mother was coming toward them, it ran to Coraline and stopped by her legs. Coraline began to pull the door closed. It was heavier than she imagined a door could be, and pulling it closed was like trying to close a door against a high wind. And then she felt something from the other side starting to pull against her. Shut, she thought. Then she said out loud, Come on, please. And she felt the door begin to move, to pull closed, to give against the phantom wind. Suddenly, she was aware of other people in the corridor with her. She could not turn her head to look at them, but she knew them without having to look. Help me, please, she said, all of you. The other people in the corridor, 3 children, 2 adults, were somehow too insubstantial to touch the door, but their hands closed around hers as she pulled on the big iron door handle, and suddenly she felt strong. Never let up, miss. Hold strong, whispered a voice in her mind. Pull, girl, pull, whispered another, and then a voice that sounded like her mother's, her own mother, her real, wonderful, maddening, infuriating, glorious mother, just said, Well done, Coraline. And that was enough. The door started to slip closed, easily as anything. No! Screamed a voice from beyond the door, and it no longer sounded even faintly human. Something snatched at Coraline, reaching through the closing gap between the door and the doorpost. Coraline jerked her head out of the way, but the door began to open once more. We're going to go home, said Coraline. We are. Help me. She ducked the snatching fingers. They moved through her then. Ghost hands lent her strength that she no longer possessed. There was a final moment of resistance, as if something were caught in the door, and then, with a crash, the wooden door banged closed. Something dropped from Coraline's head height to the floor. It landed with a sort of scuttling thump. "Come on," said the cat. "This is not a good place to be in. Quickly." Coraline turned her back on the door and began to run, as fast as was practical, through the dark corridor, running her hand along the wall to make sure she didn't bump into anything or get turned around in the darkness. It was an uphill run, and it seemed to her that it went on for a longer distance than anything could possibly go. The wall she was touching felt warm and yielding now, and she realized it felt as if it were covered in a fine downy fur. It moved as if it were taking a breath. She snatched her hand away from it. Winds howled in the dark. She was scared she would bump into something, and she put out her hand for the wall once more. This time, what she touched felt hot and wet, as if she had put her hand in somebody's mouth, and she pulled it back with a small wail. Her eyes had adjusted to the dark. She could half see, as faintly glowing patches ahead of her, 2 adults, 3 children. She could hear the cat, too, patting in the dark in front of her. And there was something else, which suddenly scuttled between her feet, nearly sending Coraline flying. She caught herself before she went down, using her own momentum to keep moving. She knew that if she fell in that corridor, she might never get up again. Whatever that corridor was older by far than the other mother. It was deep and slow, and it knew that she was there. The daylight appeared, and she ran toward it, puffing and wheezing. "Almost there," she called encouragingly. But in the light, she discovered that the wraiths had gone, and she was alone. She did not have time to wonder what had happened to them. Panting for breath, she staggered through the door and slammed it behind her with the loudest, most satisfying bang you can imagine. Coraline locked the door with the key and put the key back into her pocket. The black cat was huddled in the farthest corner of the room, the pink tip of its tongue showing, its eyes wide. Coraline went over to it and crouched down beside it. "I'm sorry," she said. "I'm sorry I threw you at her, but it was the only way to distract her enough to get us all out." She would never have kept her word, would she? The cat looked up at her, then rested its head on her hand, licking her fingers with its sandpapery tongue. It began to purr. "Then we're friends?" said Coraline. She sat down on one of her grandmother's uncomfortable armchairs, and the cat sprang up into her lap and made itself comfortable. The light that came through the picture window was daylight. Real golden late afternoon daylight, not a white mist light. The sky was a robin's egg blue, and Coraline could see trees, and beyond the trees green hills which faded on the horizon into purples and grays. The sky had never seemed so sky. The world had never seemed so world. Coraline stared at the leaves on the trees and at the patterns of light and shadows on the cracked bark of the trunk of the beech tree outside the window. Then she looked down at her lap, at the way that the rich sunlight brushed every hair on the cat's head, turning each white whisker to gold. Nothing, she thought, had ever been so interesting. And, caught up in the interestingness of the world, Coraline barely noticed that she had wriggled down and curled cat-like on her grandmother's uncomfortable armchair, nor did she notice when she fell into a deep and dreamless sleep. Chapter 12. Her mother shook her gently awake. "Coraline," she said, "darling, what a funny place to fall asleep. And really, this room is only for best. We looked all over the house for you." Coraline stretched and blinked. "I'm sorry," she said. "I fell asleep." "I can see that," said her mother. "And wherever did the cat come from? He was waiting by the front door when I came in. Shot out like a bullet as I opened it." "Probably had things to do," said Coraline. Then she hugged her mother so tightly that her arms began to ache. Her mother hugged Coraline back. Dinner in 15 minutes, said her mother. Don't forget to wash your hands. And just look at those pajama bottoms. What did you do to your poor knee? I tripped, said Coraline. She went into the bathroom, and she washed her hands and cleaned her bloody knee. She put ointment on her cuts and scrapes. She went into her bedroom, her real bedroom, her true bedroom. She pushed her hands into the pockets of her dressing gown, and she pulled out 3 marbles, a stone with a hole in it, the black key, and an empty snow globe. She shook the snow globe and watched the glittery snow swirl through the water to fill the empty world. She put it down and watched the snow fall, covering the place where the little couple had once stood. Coraline took a piece of string from her toy box, and she strung the black key on the string. Then she knotted the string and hung it around her neck. There, she said. She put on some clothes and hid the key under her t-shirt. It was cold against her skin. The stone went into her pocket. Coraline walked down the hallway to her father's study. He had his back to her, but she knew, just on seeing him, that his eyes, when he turned around, would be her father's kind gray eyes, and she crept over and kissed him on the back of his balding head. Hello, Coraline, he said. Then he looked around and smiled at her. What was that for? Nothing, said Coraline. I just miss you sometimes, that's all. Oh, good, he said. He put the computer to sleep, stood up, and then for no reason at all, he picked Coraline up, which he had not done for such a long time. Not since he had started pointing out to her that she was much too old to be carried, and he carried her into the kitchen. Dinner that night was pizza, and even though it was homemade by her father, so the crust was alternately thick and doughy and raw, or too thin and burnt. And even though he had put slices of green pepper on it, along with little meatballs and, of all things, pineapple chunks, Coraline ate the entire slice she had been given. Well, she ate everything except for the pineapple chunks. And soon enough it was bedtime. Coraline kept the key around her neck, but she put the gray marbles beneath her pillow, and in bed that night Coraline dreamed a dream. She was at a picnic under an old oak tree in a green meadow. The sun was high in the sky, and while there were distant, fluffy white clouds on the horizon, the sky above her head was a deep, untroubled blue. There was a white linen cloth laid on the grass, with bowls piled high with food. She could see salads and sandwiches, nuts and fruits, jugs of lemonade and water, and thick chocolate milk. Coraline sat on one side of the tablecloth, while 3 other children took a side each. They were dressed in the oddest clothes. The smallest of them, sitting on Coraline's left, was a boy with red velvet knee breeches and a frilly white shirt. His face was dirty, and he was piling his plate high with boiled new potatoes, and with what looked like a whole cooked trout. This is the finest of picnics, lady, he said to her. Yes, said Coraline, I think it is. I wonder who organized it. Why, I rather think you did, miss, said a tall girl sitting opposite Coraline. She wore a brown, rather shapeless dress, and had a brown bonnet on her head which tied beneath her chin. And we are more grateful for it and for all than words can say. She was eating slices of bread and jam, deftly cutting the bread from a large golden brown loaf with a huge knife, then spooning on the purple jam with a wooden spoon. She had jam all around her mouth. Aye, this is the finest food I've eaten in centuries, said the girl on Coraline's right. She was a very pale child, dressed in what seemed to be spider's webs, with a circle of glittering silver set in her blonde hair. Coraline could have sworn that the girl had 2 wings, like dusty silver butterfly wings, not bird wings, coming out her back. The girl's plate was piled high with pretty flowers. She smiled at Coraline, as if it had been a very long time since she had smiled, and she had almost, but not quite, forgotten how. Coraline found herself liking this girl immensely. And then, in the way of dreams, the picnic was done and they were playing in the meadow, running and shouting and tossing a glittering ball from one to another. Coraline knew it was a dream then, because none of them ever got tired or winded or out of breath. She wasn't even sweating. They just laughed and ran in a game that was partly tag, partly piggy in the middle, and partly just a magnificent romp. 3 of them ran along the ground, while the pale girl fluttered a little over their heads, swooping down on the butterfly wings to grab the ball and swing up again into the sky before she tossed the ball to one of the other children. Is your Halloween costume an egg? I am also... Yo, welcome in, Kung Dirk Slag. You're also bald? I fucking love it, dude. Hell yes. You know, everyone likes to joke that I look like Mr. Clean, but I actually went as Mr. Clean for Halloween a couple years ago. I got like a fake earring and everything. It's pretty fucking funny. Hey, buddy. Welcome in. How you doing, Kung? Or Slag? Or Dirk? What would you prefer? We're reading Coraline right now. I should stretch real quick. Oh, man. Hey, Zeph. Thank you for the head rub, Poofy. I appreciate it. Posture check, I can do. Oh, why is Uber Eats sending notifications? I don't care. I almost got that Mr. Clean pose. I guess I kind of do, don't I? Hello, Rose. Welcome in. How are you doing? Another posture check. Who is Mr. Clean again? I don't know. Apparently, Mr. Clean is some dude that looks like me. You're fine? I'll take that. Alright, shall we continue? And then, without a word about it being spoken, the game was done, and the 4 of them went back to the picnic cloth where the lunch dishes had been cleared away, and there were 4 bowls waiting for them, 3 of ice cream, 1 of honeysuckle flowers piled high. They ate with relish. Thank you for coming to my party, said Coraline. If it is mine. Mwah. The pleasure is ours, Coraline Jones, said the winged girl, nibbling another honeysuckle blossom. If there were but something we could do for you to thank you and to reward you. Aye, said the boy with the red velvet breeches and the dirty face. He put out his hand and held Coraline's hand with his own. It was warm now. It's a very fine thing you did for us, miss, said the tall girl. She now had a smear of chocolate ice cream all around her lips. I'm just pleased it's all over, said Coraline. A stretch? Okay. I can do that. I'll stretch again. Oh, did you hear my shoulder crack? Thank you, C. Oh my goodness. Why am I moaning? I was stretching. It felt nice. Was it her imagination, or did a shadow cross the faces of the other children at the picnic? The winged girl, the circlet in her hair glittering like a star, rested her finger for a moment on the back of Coraline's hand. You guys are so goddamn cute. Stop distracting me from the story. I just want to... I want to do a lot. Thanks for lurking, C. I appreciate you. It is over and done with for us, she said. This is our staging post. From here, we 3 will set out for uncharted lands, and what comes after, no one alive can say. She stopped talking. There's a but, isn't there? Said Coraline. I can feel it, like a rain cloud. The boy on her left tried to smile bravely, but his lower lip began to tremble, and he bit it with his upper teeth and said nothing. The girl in the brown bonnet shifted uncomfortably and said, "Yes, miss." "But I got you three back," said Coraline. "I got Mum and Dad back. I shut the door. I locked it. What more was I meant to do?" The boy squeezed Coraline's hand with his. She found herself remembering when it had been she, trying to reassure him, when he was little more than a cold memory in the darkness. "Well, can't you give me a clue?" asked Coraline. "Isn't there something you can tell me?" "The Bedlam swore by her good right hand," said the tall girl, "but she lied." My governess," said the boy, "used to say that nobody is ever given more to shoulder than he or she can bear." He shrugged as he said this, as if he had not yet made his own mind up whether or not it was true. "We wish you luck," said the winged girl. "Good fortune and wisdom and courage, although you have already shown that you have all three of these blessings and in abundance." "She hates you," blurted out the boy. "She hasn't lost anything for so long. Be wise, be brave, be tricky." "But it's not fair," said Coraline in her dream angrily. "It's just not fair. It should be over." The boy with the dirty face stood up and hugged Coraline tightly. "Take comfort in this," he whispered. "Thou'rt alive, thou livest." And in her dream, Coraline saw that the sun had set and the stars were twinkling in the darkening sky. Coraline stood in the meadow, and she watched as the three children, two of them walking, one flying, went away from her across the grass, silver in the light of the huge moon. The three of them came to a small wooden bridge over a stream. They stopped there and turned and waved, and Coraline waved back. And what came after was darkness. Coraline woke in the early hours of the morning, convinced she had heard something moving, but unsure what it was. She waited. Something made a rustling noise outside her bedroom door. She wondered if it was a rat. The door rattled. Coraline clambered out of bed. "Go away," said Coraline sharply. "Go away or you'll be sorry." There was a pause, and then whatever it was scuttled away down the hall. There was something odd and irregular about its footsteps, if they were footsteps. Coraline found herself wondering if it was perhaps a rat with an extra leg. "It isn't over, is it?" she said to herself. Then she opened the bedroom door. The gray pre-dawn light showed her the whole of the corridor completely deserted. She went toward the front door, sparing a hasty glance back at the wardrobe door mirror hanging on the wall at the other end of the hallway, seeing nothing but her own pale face staring back at her, looking sleepy and serious. Gentle, reassuring snores came from her parents' room, but the door was closed. All the doors of the corridor were closed. Whatever the scuttling thing was, it had to be here somewhere. Coraline opened the front door and looked at the gray sky. She wondered how long it would be until the sun came up. Wondered whether her dream had been a true thing, while knowing in her heart that it had been. "Spirit Wolf, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Powerhouse. Hope you're having a good night." Something she had taken to be part of the shadows under the hall couch detached itself from beneath the couch and made a mad scrabbling rush on its long white legs, heading for the front door. Coraline's mouth dropped open in horror, and she stepped out of the way as the thing clicked and scuttled past her and out of the house, running crab-like on its too many tapping, clicking, scurrying feet. She knew what it was, and she knew what it was after. She had seen it too many times in the last few days, reaching and clutching and snatching, and popping black beetles obediently into the other mother's mouth. 5-footed, crimson-nailed, the color of bone. It was the other mother's right hand. It wanted the black key. How you doing, Spirit Wolf? I feel like if I keep reading now, I'm going to have to commit to finishing the book because there's really not much left. There's maybe 20 pages. we're on page 149. So I think perhaps we finish this next time. Finish it now? You guys want me to finish it now? Okay. Jeez. Yeah. All right. Why are all the Left 4 Dead 2 sprays on say so? You vote now then movie? Ooh, impromptu movie night? Okay, we could do that. I'm actually down for that. You need more Mito reading. Alright. Alright, that sounds good. May or may not have this movie. Do you guys know what streaming platform it's on? If it is on one? Let's try to find out. Coraline movie. You can stream it free. Oh, it's on Netflix. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, we can make that happen. Absolutely. Easy clap. Trickster, thank you for joining the Discord. I appreciate you freeing up a slot. Make room for me. And you are our 250th member of the Discord. That's fucking hype. Yeah. Love to see it. That's crazy. A couple of months ago, we just hit 100 people in the Discord. So now we're at 250. You've been meaning to catch a stream of mine since you followed? I appreciate that. Can't wait to watch it again. I'm excited to watch it now that I'm like reading the story, you know? I'm excited to see how they did the movie, because I know it was Tim Burton, right? He makes some good stuff. Yeah. Call you Spirit? Okay, I got you. I could definitely call you Spirit. Sounds good to me. I'll love it. I'm sure I will. You guys actually want to watch it with me after stream? I think I should be able to do that. You'd love to watch it? Bet. Okay. Maybe I'll make an announcement after stream is over, and I'll give like 20-minute break or something like that between the end of stream and when we start the movie, to give people time to like take a break, you know, do what they need to do. You may pass out in VC. That's totally understandable. Hell yeah, that sounds great. I would totally be down to watch that. Fuck yeah. All right, it's a plan. I'm excited. I'm gonna do it. Beautiful. Spirit, if you're not in the Discord, there's where you join. Shaquanda, I see you join the Discord. Hell yeah. And that makes 251. That's fucking awesome. I'm very grateful for all the support that I've been seeing recently. I'm really excited to do a lot of things. I have a lot of plans, guys. I want you to know. I'll be sharing them as they come into fruition. But yes, I'm very excited for things to come. Okay, anyways. Some more Coraline, yeah? Chapter 13. Coraline's parents never seemed to remember anything about their time in the snow globe. At least, they never said anything about it, and Coraline never mentioned it to them. Sometimes she wondered whether they had noticed that they had lost 2 days in the real world, and came to the eventual conclusion that they had not. Then again, there are some people who keep track of every day and every hour, and there are some people who don't, and Coraline's parents were solidly in the second camp. Coraline had placed the marbles beneath her pillow before she went to sleep that first night home in her own room once more. She went back to bed after she saw the other mother's hand, although there was not much time left for sleeping, and she rested her head back on that pillow. Something scrunched gently as she did. She sat up and lifted the pillow. The fragments of the glass marbles that she saw looked like the remains of eggshells one finds beneath trees in springtime, like empty, broken robin's eggs, or even more delicate, wren's eggs perhaps. Whatever had been inside the glass spheres had gone. Coraline thought of the 3 children waving goodbye to her in the moonlight, waving before they crossed that silver stream. She gathered up the eggshell-thin fragments with care and placed them in a small blue box which had once held a bracelet that her grandmother had given her when she was a little girl. The bracelet was long lost, but the box remained. Miss Spink and Miss Forcible came back from visiting Miss Spink's niece, and Coraline went down to their flat for tea. It was a Monday. On Wednesday, Coraline would go back to school. A whole new school year would begin. Thanks for lurking, Moo. I appreciate you. Miss Forcible insisted on reading Coraline's tea leaves. Looks like everything's mostly shipshape and Bristol fashion, lovey, said Miss Forcible. Sorry, said Coraline. Everything is coming of roses, said Miss Forcible. Well, almost everything. I'm not sure what that is. She pointed to a clump of tea leaves sticking to the side of the cup. Miss Spink tutted and reached for the cup. Honestly, Miriam, give it over here. Let me see. She blinked through her thick spectacles. Oh dear. No, I have no idea what that signifies. It looks almost like a hand. Coraline looked. The clump of leaves did look a little like a hand, reaching for something. Hamish the Scotty dog was hiding under Miss Forcible's chair, and he wouldn't come out. I think he was in some sort of fight, said Miss Spink. He has a deep gash in his side, poor dear. We'll take him to the vet later this afternoon. I wish I knew what could have done it. Something, Coraline knew, would have to be done. That final week of the holidays, the weather was magnificent, as if the summer itself were trying to make up for the miserable weather they had been having by giving them some bright and glorious days before it ended. The crazy old man upstairs called down to Coraline when he saw her coming out of Miss Spink and Miss Forcible's flat. Hey, hi, you, Caroline, he shouted over the railing. It's Coraline, she said. How are the mice? Something has frightened them, said the old man, scratching his mustache. I think maybe there is a weasel in the house. Something is about. I heard it in the night. In my country, we would have put a trap down for it. Maybe put down a little meat or hamburger, and when the creature comes to feast, then bam! It would be caught and never bother us more. The mice are so scared that they will not even pick up their little musical instruments. I don't think it wants meat, said Coraline. She put her hand up and touched the black key that hung around her neck. Then she went inside. She bathed herself and kept the key around her neck the whole time she was in the bath. She never took it off anymore. Something scratched at her bedroom window after she went to bed. Coraline was almost asleep, but she slipped out of her bed and pulled open the curtains. A white hand with crimson fingernails leapt from the window ledge onto a drain pipe and was immediately out of sight. There were deep gouges in the glass on the other side of the window. Coraline slept uneasily that night, waking from time to time to plot and plan and ponder, then falling back into sleep, never quite certain where her pondering ended and the dream began, one ear always open for the sound of something scratching at her window pane or at her bedroom door. In the morning, Coraline said to her mother, "I'm going to have a picnic with my dolls today. Can I borrow a sheet? An old one? One you don't need any longer, as a tablecloth?" "I don't think we have one of those," said her mother. She opened the kitchen drawer that held the napkins and the tablecloths, and she prodded about in it. "Hold on. Will this do?" It was a folded up disposable paper tablecloth covered with red flowers left over from some picnic they had been on several years before. "That's perfect," said Coraline. "I didn't think you played with your dolls anymore," said Miss Jones. "I don't," admitted Coraline. "They're protective coloration." "Well, be back in time for lunch," said her mother. "Have a good time." Coraline filled a cardboard box with dolls and with several plastic dolls' teacups. She filled a jug with water. Then she went outside. She walked down to the road, just as if she were going to the shops. Before she reached the supermarket, she cut across a fence into some wasteland and along an old drive, then crawled under a hedge. She had to go under the hedge in 2 journeys in order not to spill the water from the jug. It was a long, roundabout, looping journey, but at the end of it, Coraline was satisfied that she had not been followed. She came out behind the dilapidated old tennis court. She crossed over it to the meadow where the long grass swayed. She found the planks on the edge of the meadow. They were astonishingly heavy, almost too heavy for a girl to lift, even using all her strength, but she managed. She didn't have any choice. She pulled the planks out of the way one by one, grunting and sweating with the effort, revealing a deep, round, brick-lined hole in the ground. It smelled of damp and the dark. The bricks were greenish and slippery. She spread out the tablecloth and laid it carefully over the top of the well. She put a plastic doll's cup every foot or so at the edge of the well, and she weighted each cup down with water from the jug. She put a doll in the grass beside each cup, making it look as much like a doll's tea party as she could. Then she retraced her steps back under the hedge, along the dusty yellow drive, around the back of the shops, back to her house. She reached up and took the key from around her neck. She dangled it from the string, as if the key were just something she liked to play with. Then she knocked on the door of Miss Spink and Miss Forcible's flat. Miss Spink opened the door. "Hello, dear," she said. "I don't want to come in," said Coraline. "I just wanted to find out how Hamish was doing." Miss Spink sighed. "The vet says that Hamish is a brave little soldier," she said. "Luckily, the cut doesn't seem to be infected. We cannot imagine what could have done it. The vet says some animal, he thinks, but has no idea what. Mr. Bobo says he thinks it might have been a weasel." "Mr. Bobo?" "The man in the top flat. Mr. Bobo. Fine old circus family, I believe. Romanian or Slovenian or Livonian, or one of those countries. Bless me, I can never remember them anymore." It had never occurred to Coraline that the crazy old man upstairs actually had a name, she realized. If she'd known his name was Mr. Bobo, she would have said it every chance she got. How often do you get to say a name like Mr. Bobo aloud? "Oh," said Coraline to Miss Spink. "Mr. Bobo, right. Well," she said a little louder, "I'm going to go and play with my dolls now over by the old tennis court round the back." "That's nice, dear," said Miss Spink. Then she added confidentially, "Make sure you keep an eye out for the old well. Mr. Lovat, who was here before your time, said that he thought it might go down for half a mile or more." Coraline hoped that the hand had not heard this last, and she changed the subject. "This key?" said Coraline loudly. "Oh, it's just some old key from our house. It's part of my game. That's why I'm carrying it around with me on this piece of string. Well, goodbye now." "What an extraordinary child," said Miss Spink to herself as she closed the door. Coraline ambled across the meadow toward the old tennis court, dangling and swinging the black key on its piece of string as she walked. Several times she thought she saw something the color of bone in the undergrowth. It was keeping pace with her about 30 feet away. She tried to whistle, but nothing happened, so she sang out loud instead, a song her father had made up for her when she was a little baby, and which had always made her laugh. It went, "Oh, my twitchy witchy girl, I think you are so nice. I give you bowls of porridge and I give you bowls of ice cream." I give you lots of kisses and I give you lots of hugs, but I never give you sandwiches with bugs in. That's what she sang as she sauntered through the woods, and her voice hardly trembled at all. The doll's tea party was where she had left it. She was relieved that it was not a windy day, for everything was still in its place. Every water-filled plastic cup weighed down the paper tablecloth as it was meant to. She breathed a sigh of relief. Now was the hardest part. "Hello, dolls," she said brightly. "It's tea time." She walked close to the paper tablecloth. "I brought the lucky key," she told the dolls, "to make sure we have a good picnic." And then, as carefully as she could, she leaned over and gently placed the key on the tablecloth. She was still holding onto the string. She held her breath, hoping that the cups of water at the edges of the well would weigh the cloth down, letting it take the weight of the key without collapsing into the well. The key sat in the middle of the paper picnic cloth. Coraline let go of the string, and took a step back. Now it was all up to the hand. She turned to her dolls. "Who would like a piece of cherry cake?" she asked. "Jemima? Pinky? Primrose?" As she served each doll a slice of invisible cake on an invisible plate, chattering happily as she did so. From the corner of her eye, she saw something bone-white scamper from one tree trunk to another, closer and closer. She forced herself not to look at it. "Jemima," said Coraline, "what a bad girl you are. You've dropped your cake. Now I'll have to go over and get you a whole new slice." And she walked around the tea party until she was on the other side of it to the hand. She pretended to clean up spilled cake and to get Jemima another piece. And then, in a skittering, chittering rush, it came. The hand, running high on its fingertips, scrabbled through the tall grass and up onto a tree stump. It stood there for a moment like a crab tasting the air, and then it made one triumphant, nail-clacking leap onto the center of the paper tablecloth. Time slowed for Coraline. The white fingers closed around the black key. And then the weight and the momentum of the hand sent the plastic doll's cups flying, and the paper tablecloth, the key, and the other mother's right hand went tumbling down into the darkness of the well. Coraline counted slowly under her breath. She got up to 40 before she heard a muffled splash coming from a long way down below. Someone had once told her that if you look up at the sky from the bottom of a mine shaft, even in the brightest daylight, you see a night sky and stars. Coraline wondered if the hand could see stars from where it was. She hauled the heavy planks back onto the well, covering it carefully as she could. She didn't want anything to fall in. She didn't want anything ever to get out. Then she put her dolls and the cups back in the cardboard box she had carried them out in. Something caught her eye while she was doing this, and she straightened up in time to see the black cat stalking toward her, its tail held high and curling at the tip like a question mark. It was the first time she had seen the cat in several days since they had returned together from the other mother's place. The cat walked over to her and jumped up onto the planks that covered the well. Then slowly, it winked one eye at her. It sprang down into the long grass in front of her and rolled over onto its back, wiggling about ecstatically. Coraline scratched and tickled the soft fur on its belly, and the cat purred contentedly. When it had had enough, it rolled over onto its front once more and walked back toward the tennis court, like a tiny patch of midday in the midday sun. Coraline went back to the house. Mr. Bobo was waiting for her in the driveway. He clapped her on the shoulder. "The mice tell me that all is good," he said. "They say that you are our savior, Caroline." "It's Coraline, Mr. Bobo," said Coraline. "Not Caroline, Coraline." "Coraline," said Mr. Bobo, repeating her name to himself with wonderment and respect. "Very good, Coraline. The mice say that I must tell you that as soon as they are ready to perform in public, you will come up and watch them as the first audience of all. They will play Tumpty Umpty and Toodle Oodle, and they will dance and do 1,000 tricks. That is what they say." "I would like that very much," said Coraline, "when they're ready." She knocked at Miss Spink and Miss Forcible's door. Miss Spink let her in, and Coraline went into their parlor. She put her box of dolls down on the floor. Then she put her hand into her pocket and pulled out the stone with the hole in it. Here you go, she said. I don't need it anymore. I'm very grateful. I think it may have saved my life and saved some other people's death. She gave them both tight hugs, although her arms barely stretched around Miss Spink, and Miss Forcible smelled like the raw garlic she had been cutting. Then Coraline picked up her box of dolls and went out. What an extraordinary child, said Miss Spink. No one had hugged her like that since she had retired from the theater. That night, Coraline lay in bed, all bathed, teeth cleaned, with her eyes open, staring up at the ceiling. It was warm enough that, now that the hand was gone, she had opened her bedroom window wide. She had insisted to her father that the curtains not be entirely closed. Her new school clothes were laid out carefully on her chair for her to put on when she woke. Normally, on the night before the first day of term, Coraline was apprehensive and nervous. But, she realized, there was nothing left about school that could scare her anymore. She fancied she could hear sweet music on the night air, the kind of music that can only be played on the tiniest silver trombones and trumpets and bassoons, on piccolos and tubas so delicate and small that their keys could only be pressed by the tiny pink fingers of white mice. Coraline imagined that she was back again in her dream, with the two girls and the boy under the oak tree in the meadow, and she smiled. As the first stars came out, Coraline finally allowed herself to drift to sleep, while the gentle upstairs music of the mouse circus spilled out onto the warm evening air, telling the world that the summer was almost done. GG's. Goddamn, Viva. You're ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Alright, we made it through. We made it through all of Coraline. That's fucking awesome. And, yeah. You missed the ending? Aw, damn. Guess you'll have to watch the VOD. Or you'll just have to watch the movie with us. But, that was a lot of reading. Alright, let's find someone to raid. Let's see. We could raid Zumi. I don't think oh, we could raid Yami. Yo, wait, that's perfect. How long has Yami been live? Wait, he went live around the same time I did. Is he going to be going for a while?
Michael Myers X-Reader. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, we can raid Yami. I hope he's going to be live a bit longer. Okay, that's perfect. Alright, we're gonna raid Yami because he's a badass. He followed my channel this week. I want to pay back the kindness a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, what do we want the raid message to be? Ah, okay, wait, I got it. Let's do. This is cute. Whoa. What is going on? There we go. Alright, guys. If you're not in the Discord yet, go ahead and join. That's the best way to support me if you'd like to. Check out my socials as well. I'm very active on Twitter. I have some TikTok content up. Check that stuff out if you'd like to. But we're gonna raid Yami Umai. Yo, Yui-tan. I'm sorry you're stopping in right as we're raiding out. But welcome in. It's good to meet you. How you doing today? We're about to raid Yami Umai. He's really cool if you want to stick around for the raid. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Powerhouse. Very glad to have you. We just finished Coraline. Yeah, but I'll be live again on Monday around 5 a.m. Eastern. Okay. If you want to check out my schedule, it's in the Discord and on my Twitter. Yeah. We're gonna go raid Yami. He's doing ASMR right now. Oh my god, Civi, why are you like this? I can't believe this. You're so ridiculous. Okay, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take like 20-30 minutes, just like get our shit together, you know, take care of ourselves, and then we can watch Coraline in Discord. So in about 20-30 minutes, we're gonna get that started. I'll make a ping in Discord, maybe like 10 minutes before we get started. I'll be in VC chilling. Anyone who's welcome, or anyone is welcome who wants to join. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, see you at the movie, son. I appreciate you guys for hanging out today. I'm very much looking forward to the next time we stream. Also, we have karaoke night tomorrow, so don't forget about that. Karaoke night is going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's an hour later than we started today. So don't forget about that. But I'll see you guys over there. And let's give some love to Yami, okay? Until next time.
Get some good lobster. Good lobster. If you're armed and at the glare.